How dare you?
Why are you? He always does this. Just to rub it in my face. I can't even get out of this thing.
What? You got a Rancor too now?
His is bigger.
What?
Yes.
Yours has like big crazy horns and shit.
No, his is the cantina. His is the cantina.
Oh my god.
Edition.
Oh my god.
Listen, he has spikes. Listen, I'm not grateful. I'm very grateful for the adopted. He's got spikes. Look at him. Well, now he won't stop. See, he plays this game. Like I try to catch up to him, and then he just runs away. Stop running.
No, my brother is just the Tard Wrangler of the two of us. He has to lead us around and be like, "Come on, come."
Do you see his spikes? They're orange.
Yes, they are. Quite nifty. And yours has big, gnarly horns. What are you crying about?
No, his are orange.
No, I get that he has the like spikes around his back and stuff that are orange and everything, but you got big, gnarly horns on the freaking head of the Rancor you got. Pretty cool.
No, his are orange.
Did you want what? You wanted orange? An orange spiked Rancor? Would that have made you feel a little better?
No. Where are we going? I'm hungry. There's stuff at a gas station.
Fight!
Own your truth. You know, it was difficult. It was at first. I mean, you just cornered me like that and everything, but you know, it's a little liberating now to know I can like Star Wars in more ways than I ever imagined. Dave Filoni is the savior of Star Wars. KK is doing an amazing job. The people out there are just blind and can't see it. So yes, thank you. I can stop lying now.
What? What the fuck?
You're a pushy little bastard, ain't you? But I like that. I like that.
It's all part of a new program we like to call Deep Hurting. Deep Hurting.
Not straight. Stay tuned.
Hello and good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Saturday Night Sith, episode 120. We've got some fun. We've got some excitement. We've got more, of course, like I said, Deja Doom, and among other things that we're going to be going over tonight. It is packed full of gaming news for sure and other things. But we got plenty. But on the other hand of everything, I am your host, Fractured Filter, and with me tonight here is, as always, my friend, my compatriot in all this madness, Jay Hitman. How are you tonight, sir?
Dude, I'm excited. I'm pumped. I've been trying to do some research, but I did see you post a lot of gaming. Holy howdy. My Twitter blew up yesterday, man, on my way to work. I think between you and Melee K and Good Night.
Everybody's been popping up. Yeah, we've all been kind of keeping an eye on the whole Doom situation.
We're all doomed.
We got besides that, we've got updates, like I said. God, there's been some extra stuff on the side that even Static threw to me. It's been a wild week, I have to say, and it's stuff I was not expecting for sure. Mortal Kombat getting into the news again, like it is. Myself and Melee Games, we've been autistically diving into some of the background of characters, and the one in particular that we'll be looking at. And yeah, it's just more obnoxious nonsense But hey, we're here to have fun, here to have a good time, regardless of all the stupidity. And we're here to laugh at it. At least I certainly am. I don't know about you, sir. So, yeah.
I just want to know what's going on with this whole Doom thing because, like I said, I had
boy.
19. I had 19 notifications in the span of like 32 seconds between Melee K and
in games, and I think I tagged you in a post, and because I was like, we're definitely talking about this, and just other just why, like I said, just some goofy stuff that just goes to show, we cannot turn our backs for 1 second on these parasitical dickheads that are within the gaming industry. That's for goddamn sure. But
if OG's in the chat, I need her to find this, dude. I can't. It's gonna bug me if I can't find this.
Just can't find the.
No, it is bugging me.
All right, before we dive into that topic, and I'll give you a little bit of extra time. I'm just gonna go over the chat for just a moment, so that gives you just that few extra minutes. But yeah, let me do that really quick. What unfortunately is not being shown in Restream, we did have Star Wars Marvel Purist in at the first bell before everyone else. Thank you, sir, saying force choke the like button. Please do. Share out on all them gosh darn platforms. We're live. Remember, folks, we are live across not just YouTube, but also Rumble, Odyssey, Kick, and Twitch. So if you've got an alternative favorite platform, by all means, head on over there, whichever. But if you like hanging out here, of course, more than proper to stay. And howdy, Tim from United Spacers Alliance. Howdy, sir. Welcome. Irafima saying evening chat. Evening. A good old hail back at you, Nerdy Neo. Hope you're doing well. Hope your achievement hunting's been going good. I saw I think it was either you or somebody else that shared in the Melee Games Discord of the Wind Waker achievements being added now for retro achievements. Definitely now it's like, ooh, might be firing that one back up again. So looking forward to that. Hello to you, Meteor Advocate Timon. Saying hello to myself and the Hitman. Everybody's greeting each other. Oh, so good. So good. Wait, what? Meteor Advocate Timon says, Saturday news. X is leaving Brazil. Say, what? That's crazy to hear. True. I haven't seen. I've been just so like I said, so engrossed in all the news around certain aspects of the gaming sphere and stuff. I have not caught everything else that I probably should be keeping an eye on. Fear of Fema says, I must not have paid attention to the opening before. Never noticed Trace and Frank. Love MSD3K. Yeah, so because Restream is so limited with what I can keep on there for extra video clips, I'm like, you know what? Fine, screw it. I'm just going to combine some of my favorite clips of mine into and incorporate it into the intro as this one large video. So that's what I basically did, and I plan to mix it up occasionally. And I've got some ideas too now for especially for like once we get to October, what the intro might do. And also I may be bugging someone to redesign our intro to get something a little spicy, because I keep trying. Lord have mercy, I keep trying, but every time I start, I just get that creative block and I just don't know what to do. So that may be happening. We'll see. But yeah, I just thought, hey, I'll just extend it out with some extra scenes and stuff that I made, stuff that like I said, is also MST, so it's good stuff. And Nerdy Neo said, "Yep, started Wind Waker yesterday. Nice." Like I said, I'm gonna have to pop back into that because it's been a really long time since I've like focused and played that game. So I take it you found what you're looking for, sir.
I think. Check Discord. This might be it.
All right, checking. Oh god,
back in 2022.
Okay, yeah, that looks to be it. Let's see. Yeah.
Is this it?
That looks to be it. Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay.
All right, cool. That makes that easy now. Now we don't have to worry about that. That's we had something that we were trying to desperately find. Hey there, Star Wars Marvel purists. What's up, guys? I saw your post at the start. Unfortunately, like I said, Restream didn't want to let me show it. But thank you, sir, for popping in and giving the shout to smash the like button. Hopefully everybody else saw it too. Okay. Oh, yeah. All right. So this is brought to you by Hitman. He's the one that found this. Let me hang on. Let me pop this open in something else because I do not want to release the real name. All right, sorry about this, folks. Just popping open a new browser really quick. Oh, I don't care. Leave me alone. Amazon, knock it off.
They want you to buy it.
I don't want to buy this freaking thing. I don't care. Okay, so this is something brought to you by Mr. Hitman. He found this one. Oh, God. Now I'm not going to be able to bring it up.
It won't let you bring it up?
No, it just for... Oh, because it's only wanting to find the Brave tab. All right, so here we go. So, over here on Amazon, old Hitman found this one out. That there's going to be the Batman Resurrection by John Jackson Miller, the man that we at least I'm more familiar with of doing the Kenobi book that I did very much enjoy. But he is, according to this is a thrilling new sequel to Tim Burton's iconic Batman. The Joker is dead, but not forgotten. Gotham City is saved, but it's still not safe. By night, its new symbol of hope, Batman continues his fight to protect the innocent and the powerless. By day, his alter ego, Bruce Wayne, wonders whether there may someday be a future beyond skulking the city's rooftops or cavernous halls of his stately manor alongside the ever-dutiful Alfred Pennyworth. But even after death, the Clown Prince of Crime's imprint can be seen in more than just the pavement. Remnants from the Joker's gang are leading wannabes fascinated by the bizarre mystique on a campaign of arson and threatens the city, even as it serves greedy opportunists, including millionaire Max Schreck. Also, so what is this? In between from after, the original Batman and then before Batman Returns, and survivors of exposure to the Joker's chemical weapon Smilex continue to crowd Gotham's main hospital. Well, what do you know? And that's So this is just a regular novel, right? That's what I'm gathering from this.
Yeah.
It's not a comic book.
No, it's a novel, not a comic.
Okay. Oh, I mean author, and I mean I know it says hardcover, but I mean even literature and fiction right there. There we go. Yeah.
I would be hard pressed to think he would ever do like a kind of a berserk type thing, you know.
Oh, there's more.
Did I miss something?
To quell the chaos, Batman needs more than his cape and his well-stocked utility belt. Bruce Wayne is forced into action, prompting a partnership with a charismatic scientist to help solve the health crisis. But this seems kind of funny that it's all surrounding a health crisis. But as he works in both the shadows and the light, Bruce finds himself drawn deeper into Gotham City's turmoil than ever before, fueling his obsession to save the city, an obsession that has already driven a wedge between him and Vicky Vale. Loyal Alfred, who had hoped Bruce's efforts as Batman could help him find closure, finds the opposite happening. Nightmares begin to prompt Bruce to ask new questions about the climactic events in the cathedral, and investigations by Commissioner Gordon and reporter Alexander Knox into the arsons only amplify his concerns. Having told the people of Gotham City that they had earned a rest from crime, Batman finds the forces of evil growing ever more organized and orchestrated by a sinister hand behind the scenes. The world's greatest detective must solve the greatest mystery of all. Could the Joker have somehow survived, and could he still have the last laugh against the people of Gotham City?
I always have the last laugh.
432 pages. Yeah, that's a novel.
Long book.
So, all right. So you wanted to bring this up in particular. And so go ahead, sir. Why was it that this in particular just really got your goat? Because you were sounding kind of angry. Go for it. You got the floor.
Well, yeah, okay, so there's no doubt, like, it's not a secret that, like, I've said I'm DC. I think DC is the superior brand. Batman is my favorite character. And my problem with this is the fact that if anybody remembers back in 2022, the Kenobi series debuted on Disney Plus, right?
I still can't shake that piece of shit.
Right. And so if anybody is unfamiliar, John Jackson Miller is the guy who wrote the Kenobi novel, which is essential. It is one of the best novels. It's not the best, but it's probably top 7, top 6 in my opinion. Right, it's fantastic. Right, I will always remember. I mean, Adjark is just a beautiful character who, I forget, is it Orrin Wells?
Yeah.
Orrin
Galt.
Orrin Galt. Yeah, Orrin Galt freaking turns Orrin Galt into a Tuscan at the end of the freaking book.
Wow, spoilers.
Well, from a certain point of view, I guess. Anyways, it's just
you don't know how it happened. That's
right. You don't know, but it's a fantastic book. And so there was a lot of controversy when this show debuted, because we thought at the time we were going to get. I mean, you've said this throughout the years, right? They had the blueprint, right? And
they had the blueprint to just,
I guess where I'm going with this is the book. He wrote the book. It portrayed Kenobi in a very specific way, that with the what happened after the Battle of Mustafar when he went into seclusion and kind of living his last remaining days on, well, not his last remaining days, but he's living his life on Tatooine, and he was in a trying to just figure out his stuff, right? And so
right,
and then the show came, and it was just polar opposites. We're not even talking about North Pole, South Pole. We're talking about like contradiction at its finest, right? And there's a tweet. I don't know if you want to pull up the tweet. This credit to OG Star Wars, because OG, as I've said in the past, her and Tim are really the two main people I go to for a lot of not a lot, but all my EU questions and whatnot. And she posted this tweet back in 2022, which was interesting.
Yeah, because John Jackson Miller said here, I've said that Obi-Wan Kenobi coexists cleanly with my Kenobi novel, which was set far earlier, but even more gratifying is it aligns perfectly with a major story choice we made in the book. Readers will know which one.
Okay,
so also in my updated book notes, as he says here. And OG Star Wars said, I disagree, as we see Kenobi settling in a home, not cave. This fact. and has come to terms with emotional state and did not cut himself off from the Force. All very much, yes. By the end of it, certainly, and that's kind of part of his journey throughout the book. Even kind of at the end of Revenge of the Sith, he's kind of there, or he's kind of getting there too. But I mean, yeah, the Kenobi book really just solidifies where he's at.
So the problem, and there's a lot of tweets that I didn't pull. I'm still on OG's on her Twitter, but there's a lot of posts that I didn't bring. But the problem with this, and why I have such an issue, is because even though, to OG's credit, she even made the claim that Leia did not know Obi-Wan. The only reason why she knew him was through stories. And so there's so many contradictions from the book that he wrote to the show, and for this shyster to come now and say that it cleanly fits in the novel is very clear that he's doing the exact same thing that Timothy Zahn did. He bowed the knee to the mouse to remain relevant. Now, here's the thing. There's people out there who listen who will say, well, that you're reaching, Hitman. No, I'm not reaching, because why else would he say that anybody who has half a brain, who has read the book and watched the show, you can see they're not the same. They're not close. They're not in the same ballpark. There's no comparison, right? And the fact that he sits there and says around, he comes out and he puts on his Twitter that it cleanly fits in my book. Are you
sweater like that?
I don't even think Cheech Marin or Tommy Chong would say, oh yeah, I mean, they could be, smoking some pretty good pineapple. This is my problem, dude. So for him to say, I mean, this is a major red flag. I was
gonna say, so now, like, let's relate. Okay, so how does this relate back?
Yeah,
like,
so now, okay, exactly. So he's done this with Star Wars. He's completely he's basically affirming a story that has nothing to do with canon. It took a completely 360 view from canon, and he's saying that he's approving it, right? So why I'm mad and I'm terrified, I'm not really terrified, but I guess why I'm so worked up is now he has now infiltrated the Batman, and he's writing this novel. And you can make the claim that Tim Burton's Batman is probably one of the greatest I mean, I would put Tim Burton and Christopher Nolan are two of my favorite. We don't talk about Dark Knight Rises. That should never have been a movie. But in perspective of the two greatest Batmans, I will tell you, I mean, you can't beat Tim Burton or Christopher Nolan's. Like, it's just, they're a masterpiece, right? In my opinion.
What are you saying? Are you saying Zack Snyder did not knock it out of the park with
no, that dude, no, he should never have. No, and I was a Snyderverse guy we've talked about it. I was a Snyderverse guy for a long time, and then I was like, no. The more that I got into it and more research I did, I was like, no. Anywho, nor am I a James Gunn guy, that we're stuck with him for a while. But
yes, you are.
The reason why I'm so heated about it is because he's now infiltrated Batman, and it's not even like, if he was doing his own story, fine, do your own story, because
he's building off of
and it's the same thing we talk about, man. It's the same.
Okay. Let me like just kind of devil's advocate, I guess, a little bit here. We've seen that he can work well in between some established continuity, like he did with the Kenobi book. And I'll even like kind of point out, and yes, if you ever do, go over to Star Wars Marvel Purist for his deep dives with people. And yeah, he did the deep dive with OG Star Wars for the Kenobi book on his channel. One of her favorites. And the Kenobi book's been one of my favorites as well. But so he's shown that, while yes, Disney shilling aside, he has shown that he can work within a certain continuity rather well. Do you think he could potentially pull this off? Or do you think because of things like this, it is destined to be just a complete shit show, especially after that description we read, with the fact that it is using the idea of a big what was it, that medical whatever.
No, because he blurs. He can't. He can't distinguish what's canon and not canon. It's either he can distinguish what he either knows what canon is or what canon. Yes, he either knows what canon is, and he refuses to acknowledge what it is, or he blurred the line. He can't blur the lines. He knows what it is. He wrote the damn book. He knows, like, he had to have had some type of exposure to George because George oversaw everything. Like, George didn't have he didn't. Well, how is it explained to me? He had his hands in almost everything, right?
He at least like gave out notes and stuff like that, what the writers were supposed to handle and like what they were supposed to stay within in line with. And then it was a lot of them had the West End Games books for extra for the weapon details and extra lore and stuff like that. So I mean, yeah, these guys had to be pretty well read on things for them to write and stay within continuity and consistent and stuff like that.
Give me 1 sec. I got filibuster really quick. Filibuster for me because I gotta look something up.
Oh, Lord have mercy. But yeah, just as a quick aside.
Okay, I got it. So my here's the thing. All right. So if he writes this book, what's to say that he couldn't write it? Like, it's gonna be a really bad analogy, but okay. So Tom Taylor wrote he's a comic book writer. He wrote a lot of different stuff. I think he wrote Knights of Steel, and he did I think he did Nightwing, where I think Dick Grayson was gay, or I don't know. But the problem, I guess the thing is, if he writes this book, or he's already written the book, like, is it gonna stay true to canon, or is he gonna go way outside the orthodox view of Batman and then say, oh yeah, it fits clearly within my book, or anything that, you know what I mean? He could apply the same thing that he did with Kenobi, like his book and the show, to that of Batman. Maybe not. I don't know. I just, anytime I see these people, these
authors cross over,
I'll tell you, man.
Once they bent the knee to.
Here's the thing, though, man. Like, I'm not out here talking trash on them just because, like, I'm on the side of you and Tim and Alora. Like, I'm talking trash on these guys because I like them. Like, I read their books. I held their books near and dear. Like, Timothy's on. Like, I've told you, Thrawn is one of my favorite books out there. The Thrawn trilogy is essential. One of my if not one of my favorite books, right? So Timothy Zahn was my guy. James Luceno, the same thing. Plagueis, one of my favorite books. Loved it. Loved James Luceno. John Jackson Miller. I read that book specifically because we were going to review Kenobi. I told you we had an agreement. We're going to try to get through this.
God, we were like, all right, let's get prepared and everything.
We gave each other. We had 2 months, right?
Oh boy.
Yeah. You and I, we behind the show, we're like, okay, this is premiering. We have 2 months before it goes. We have 2 months to read this book. I read it in less than a week and a half. I read it in less than 2 weeks, right? Because it was fantastic. And I
wish I'd done more up to date on Plagueis before Acolyte, but
well, we didn't. Yeah, we didn't. We probably could have assumed, but so, I'm not out here talking trash on them just because I want to beat them up. I'm standing against them because like I was in your corner, and then you just pull this complete move to remain relevant,
right?
So I I saw his name on the book. I'm like, why? Like, why? Go write something else. Don't, like, you've already, did your thing with, you made yourself look like an idiot with Kenobi, and you chose which side of the fence you wanted to be on, and now you're coming at Batman. I could be wrong. Maybe the book will be good. I don't know, but I have this presupposition on him, or I have this presupposition based on him because of what he's done. Like the move that he made with the Kenobi, that is asinine. For you to sit there and write your book, like you wrote your book, right? And then for you to stand there and post this on Twitter for millions of people to see, and then say, yeah, it fits cleanly within my book.
How much do you think he got paid to do it?
To do this book?
No, to do not the Batman book, but to make
Oh,
this post in
oh,
particular. Think he did it for free?
no, no. Well, no.
You second
No,
guessed it for a moment there.
No, why? I'd ask the question: why would he do it for free if there's no money to remain relevant?
Possibly. Big Disney Plus TV show coming out. It's Star Wars. Get your name back out there. Get your book back out there. I don't know. I'm just throwing out possibilities. That's all.
No. Well, why did Timothy Zahn do it for free?
I mean, I think he kind of did via like
or did he just want the opportunity to write more of the Thrawn? Well, because there's another 3 other books.
Yeah,
like,
I think that was part of it, was getting that ability to continue to write Thrawn even in the Disney continuity.
It's really what it comes down to, man, and then we can move on to Doom if you want. What it comes down to is I have a really hard time trusting. I don't know the dude. Never met the dude. Don't want to meet the guy. I have a really hard time trusting the guy because of what based off this tweet. Because you basically, like I said, you wrote a book that is considered canon, right? Like EU canon, right? So you write this book, it's established canon. George had to have had some type of hand in the pot in some type of capacity, whether he knew that you were doing it or he signed off, at the end of the day, like, until somebody can tell me that I'm wrong. I mean, that's what I've heard, right? Somehow George was in some type of capacity. George oversaw this kind of stuff, or he knew he was in the loop on it, right? So you write this book, it's a fantastic book, it's canon, it's true to the character, blah blah blah. It is done, right? And then we have the show, and it's just a complete just opposite, and it basically takes a crap in your book. It's like Disney takes a crap in your book, shuts the book, and lets it ferment through all the pages. And now that's the established book, right? Basically, man, that's what they did. Spread the cheeks and crap in the book.
I'm not arguing with you.
This is what they did. They spread their cheeks, crap in the book, shut it, and then they shipped it off to Barnes and Noble and every bookseller, and then that is now the book. That is now the book that you read. That is the story. And then he says that, like, yeah, it fits within my book. So that's the problem. At the end of the day, you didn't stand by your book, because there's no way you logically can say that your book and the show mesh together. There's no way.
No.
Absolutely no way that they mesh together. And you said that. So that's my problem. And then for you to come into Batman, like, are you going to do the same thing?
And
like,
with a pre-established Batman too. And
for sure.
Well, I mean, every writer comes in with a pre-established Batman. But like in this instance, particular, the movies and stuff like that. This isn't even like standard continuity at this moment. But completely like, well, it almost begs the question, why? Like, why pick up on this version of Batman? Why not just go to
I guess it's hard, and the argument that people can make is like, well, Jay Hitman, throughout the history of comic books and the Batman run, there's been stories that have been done that are outside orthodoxy. And my response to you is like, correct, there are, but those are unorthodox stories. Like if you follow the main story from Batman, like there's a certain, what I mean, you can follow. Like, I don't know how to explain it, man. Like, yeah, there are stories that are up. There are orthodox and unorthodox
like that, and there's the regular like mainline storyline that's going on.
I think what really irritates me,
main Batman book.
Yeah, what irritates me at the end of the day, like why I get so riled up about this, is because for the last, I don't know how many months, we've come on the show and we've talked about how there seems to be a culture of just not letting franchises just rest in peace, right? We're digging up old crap and we're continuing stories, and like for this, it's like, is he doing something new, or is this nostalgia, right? Because this is Tim Burton's universe. It's not even a universe. This is Tim Burton's established Batman, and he's now, what I would appear after we've read it, he's carrying on with it, right? So I'm concerned that like if you're carrying on or you're writing your own story within the Tim Burton, establishment, are you going to keep it true to what Tim Burton created, or are you going to do your own thing? And is it going to be contradictory to the main Batman run? Because the main Batman run, and I guess that's the issue, because in my mind, you can't distinguish what's canon or not canon, because you prove it there. You say, oh yeah, it fits. Now, I guess at the end of the day, it's like, well, why are you doing it? Are you really stupid? And do you really think they mesh, or are you doing that because you want to remain relevant, right? So, and
that's kind of the Ferrafema's point here. Disney does pay out. He is angling for other gigs with the mouse. So yes, to maintain relevance.
But like again, Batman's is DC. It's not even Disney. Like, stay with Disney.
No, it doesn't matter though. It is propping his name back up into the pop culture sphere and everything, so then that gets other people's attention. And hey, look, he's going along with current thing. Therefore, it's like, oh, then that means we can bring him in for our other projects that we can get him to do. You see? So that's exactly, it's like an extra little self promo.
I like what Brandon Tran said. I don't know if you want to show his comment.
Which one?
The most recent one. Well, yeah, answer.
Hello there, Brandon Tran. Welcome. But he said, why is John Jackson Miller defending Obi-Wan's show if his book doesn't line up with his novel? Right. That is certainly that's been our question ever since this first popped off back in, what was it? 2022? Yeah. June 2022. Been 2 years.
Well, the most recent.
And then Brandon Trent said, saying Obi-Wan show and Obi-Wan novel are same canon would be like saying Adam West's 60s Batman and Michael Keaton's Batman are the same Batman.
Right.
Exactly. Polar, and like you said, complete polar opposites.
I'm not saying the dude can't do what he wants to do. I'm not saying don't write. Like, I just have a
you're being very, you're erring on the side of caution here. You want to with his antics of propping up the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. What kind of shit will he prop up with Batman?
Right. And we've talked about this. Like, do you think he's that stupid, or do you think he did it? Was it a bend in the knee to remain? Like, why do you think he said
bending the knee is getting, like I said, is getting his name back out there and everything like that. That's what he was doing in 2022, getting his name maybe propped back up. But I mean, I'm sure he's had other projects, but yeah, certainly then, like it was then we were searching for this tweet in particular. That was the thing.
I did.
We were both trying to hunt down this tweet. Hitman found it. Because we wanted part of the conversation. We wanted it for part of the conversation here. And yeah, John Jackson Miller has been pimping this new book out as of late. And it looks like it's been going for a while. That he's been promoting it. So yeah, and that could have been what he had been working on for a while. So,
So I don't know. At the end of the day, that's what it comes down to, man. And like I said, credit to OG for keeping this on. For one, making the tweet, right? And two, keeping it on their page, and three, being able to find it. But this is why I want to talk about it. I wanted to show this, so I'm just not talking out my rear and saying, making an assertion about Miller without any type of fact. That this is why, right?
Right.
And like I said, I remember distinctly. I think she did this on, like I told you before the show. I think
she did it on Cap Chat. Well.
But that's my issue, man. It's like you want to remain, like, in my mind. And again, this is just subjective because I have no proof. But the proof is in the pudding. Here we are sat at the dinner table. You say that it fits, and now you're writing this Batman novel, and you've attached it to Tim Burton. And I want to send an email to Tim Burton and ask, did you give him the green light to do this, or like how did he acquire?
He probably doesn't own the rights to it. It's probably WB.
I get it, right? But that's what's so irritating, right? Because Warner Brothers is just absolute trash, and the CEO, like,
they're completely bonkers.
They need a new CEO, but like that's the thing, man. Because I would like to think, and this is again subjective, that maybe Tim Burton would be like, no, don't touch my stuff. But because Warner Brother owns it, he's like, oh yeah, sure, come on. Like, you've done great for Disney. Like, Kenobi did, according to Disney Plus, Kenobi was amazing. Yeah, come over to our end. We need to get on. We need to try to Pump
We
our
needed to
numbers,
pimp
too.
this stuff out. Get out there.
Yeah. I don't know. I would just advise anybody who is a Batman fan to just approach this with extreme
Be
caution. And
very
another thing, this
very
is
cautious.
$29, like for a 400 pages. That's crazy. Better be like a
20,
berserk cover.
you get it. It's well, the hardcover is $27.49 on sale right now for pre-order. If you want it, October 15th is when it comes out. I don't know why I'm promoting. Why am I giving any?
Why are
no.
you promoting it?
I don't know. I just started kind of reading stuff off. But yeah,
I like
the
Marvel,
guys,
Star Wars Marvel Pure is his comment under brand.
I know. I was gonna get Jay Hitman wanted for verbal murder of John Jackson Miller. Absolutely, and that's what we do. We bring the fire, baby. We bring the fire.
Y'all, anybody who's listening, make your own decision. Don't take my word for it, but I just be cautious, right? Because the dude has shown his cards.
Yep,
he's shown his character.
Absolutely. So
how are you not mad? I mean, you're a Batman guy, or you're Spider-Man. You're not Batman, but this should equally irritate you. Maybe not to the same extent, maybe, but it should still irritate you nonetheless because
I'm not saying it does. It doesn't. It's just, Lord have mercy. God.
But it's the same thing. Tim Burton's Batman has been done for how many years? And then again, we're gonna let's write a book. We're
gonna suddenly resurrect this corpse, so to speak.
It would be different if Tim Burton, like if they created a new movie, it'd be different if Tim Burton said, "I want to do another movie." I would trust Tim Burton because he's the creator. He was the creator of that Batman. I will trust that his genius. Like 1 was amazing, 2 was good. Like I would trust that he wanted to do another one. But the problem is when somebody else comes in after this franchise has been dead for 20 years, let's resurrect it and do something else with it. That's the issue. So it's a combination of stuff. It's like, don't touch it. Don't touch Tim Burton's don't spray bottle spray you.
Leave it alone. Just leave it alone.
Right? What is your favorite movie? It's you've told me it's
Back to the Future?
No, well, it was a TV show that you told me that you. So, but just take your favorite movie of all time and then just think of somebody trying to do something else with it.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I know. I am. Believe me, that does not escape my thoughts. It was like
this is almost as egregious as doing a Gladiator 2.
Oh God, yeah. Just unnecessary sequels, and especially when it's like they've already done Batman Returns. So why are you doing this? This is kind of making me think a little bit now as I'm kind of mulling things over. It's kind of that equivalent to between suddenly bringing up a series like Dragon Ball Super out of nowhere to sandwich it in between a timeline that's already predefined, and it's like you have no threat. You already know Batman makes it to Batman Returns in this instance, and like it is with Dragon Ball Super being sandwiched in between the end of the Boo saga to end of Z. It's like, okay, yes, you can have your extra little stories, but what is that going to mean? It's going to mean nothing. It's going to mean nothing because there's going to be no threat, no anything to this to that section of time, and that's basically what you're getting out of this Batman. Is you're having nothing but a weird limbo-esque time frame. So it's awfully goofy. I don't get it. I don't know why they suddenly do this, but like it is. I God. Hitman has stepped away, so I'm trying to filibuster a little bit. I understand, especially where he's coming from on this. I get it. It's a little iffy. I do this. It just comes down to I just see it's a completely pointless book to even do because you don't. The time frame again is the time frame that he doesn't really need filling in for the most part. Let me get to the chat while he's away for the moment. We'll close that out because I think we've just about solidified that one. Brandon Tran says, speaking of Batman, isn't there a Penguin show based off Matt Reeves' Batman movie drop next month on Max? More Batman content for the love of hell. I'm unfamiliar with that. If you've got something, I'm more than happy to take a look. But yeah, I'm unfamiliar with that.
Yeah, there's a Penguin show and it's trash too.
You've already seen it?
No, but I'm done with just anything and everything that I'm gonna become just an old cogger and just live in my house for the rest of my life in my basement. I don't know if it's bad, but based off like Batman Crusader, the Cape Crusader, that was the last straw for me.
Have you watched any of that show yet?
The first 32 seconds of it.
That's more than I have.
I'm not a Battison guy, man. And like the whole Matt Reeves thing, like I think we've talked about it. It's just more like a Saw than anything. It didn't feel like Batman. It felt like literally a Saw movie.
Oh, wow.
It did. Did you watch it? Did you not watch the Batman?
Oh, no, I still haven't watched that movie.
Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah, it's literally with
Mr. Sparkly Vampire guy.
Yeah. Literally, it just felt like a Saw movie. It didn't feel like Batman.
Really? Interesting. I heard people liked it up until the last hour or something.
Oh, the motorcycle scene?
Is it like a 3-hour movie or some shit like that?
Too? But again, like it didn't. Yeah.
So it's like people enjoyed it up until, especially like the whole, they turned Riddler into basically like an incel weird, like whatever hacker guy, and like he had a spastic moment in the
like
jail
cell. Based off,
that. So
give me Jim Carrey's freaking Riddler, dude. Like seriously, no, that's that's
he does a little too far.
No, not really, because I think he still did a much better job than freaking having Riddler be a spastic Zodiac killing crazy ball.
Right.
So
Fear FEMA said Hollywood eyes an IP, Jay Hitman begins rolling up newspaper. That's right. He's ready to bop some noses off these fools.
Yeah, absolutely. I would go to a Comic-Con, like honestly. Yeah, go ahead.
Brandon Trent said Max's Penguin show looks like it has a serious dramatic like Netflix's Daredevil and The Godfather, since Penguin is part of the mob. So isn't that Colin Farrell doing that?
I mean, I know he was the Penguin. I don't know if I don't know, dude. I don't know what Warner Brothers is doing. I don't know what James Gunn is doing. Like,
that's the problem, is that there's no coherent.
He started off strong, and then it's like, yeah. So, what was I gonna say? I forgot. Did I forget? I think I did.
Static said the Batman runtime is way too long.
Yeah. Well, it's because the motorcycle scene, dude. It's like
the Riddler is essentially what the media thinks of Fractured. Hey. I mean, no lies, but hey. Brandon Trent said Paul Dano's Riddler was based off Zodiac Killer. You're right. Star Wars Marvel purist. Riddle me this, riddle me that. Who's afraid of the big black bat? Yep.
I mean, I call him.
Nerdy Neo says, who is this Tim Burton Hitman keeps talking about? Yeah, who is Tim Burton?
probably one of the. I'm on to you.
Correcting you. He's caught you. Brandon Tran said, "Yep, that's correct. Colin Farrell is reprising his role as Penguin." Marvel Pruder said, "Yeah, that ain't the Riddler. I will say the beginning of the Batman is great. Third act is definitely falls off a cliff. That's what I've generally heard. Is the third act is just completely a waste. But it kind of gets progressively worse from start to finish. Oof.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I said, I have not watched it yet. I was very much on the
surprised that came out like 2 years ago.
I just had no interest in it.
I don't blame you.
And everything I was hearing, I was just kind of like, I'm good. I'm good. So, yeah.
Okay, I want to get into the Doom stuff because I'm very interested as to why my Twitter's blown up for the last 48 hours.
It has been, hasn't it? But I'm thinking, since we're on the subject of WB, why not go into some other WB related news? Well, related-ish. But I thought this would certainly did catch my attention because, a little bit to it. And I know I've stated this before. Been a long time fan of this particular franchise. And it was certainly something that just added to my wanting to talk about this because of that. And it's involving, of course, Mortal Kombat. I don't know, for anybody that saw the recent character drop for all of this. The first character that they're dropping with their new pack coming out, which is, what is it? The Conquest Chaos Reigns pack of characters. Oh boy. So we know, I don't know for anybody that's played Mortal Kombat 1 or at least watched the storyline. It's again yet another reboot, because they rebooted the series with Mortal Kombat 9. That was peak. It was great. It was fun. It was retelling the stories of Mortal Kombat's 1 through 3, and shows the problem of when you have the foresight of the future, and as you try to make changes, it can ultimately kind of be your downfall a little bit there, and caught making things potentially worse, which unfortunately is kind of what ended up happening towards the end of that game. But it was a great game. It was a lot of fun. It was a neat reintroduction, because like it was, Mortal Kombat got to such a point, it was 100% pure chaos by the end of I think it was Armageddon. So then they went through like 3 games, only 3 games, and by Mortal Kombat 11, they introduced alternate timelines and a basically time god that was already a being that was basically, think of it like the architect from the Matrix, who talked about how they already went through many iterations of the Matrix and ready to do another basically reboot of the current universe, and that's effectively what you've got. And Liu Kang became God, became the new time god, which is like, all right. And they kind of like really brought together Liu Kang as the whole complete chosen one as he did the fusion dance with Raiden. Mortal Kombat 1, they then do the release. I watched the storyline for it. It stinks. It's a complete shit show. They get more convoluted nonsense by doing the multiple timelines and stuff like that. And as Melee Games pointed out, and I didn't realize this, that they already had gender swapped Bo Raicho, who in the original games was a big fat dude that did basically the drunken master art style. Like it is. He's a fat drunk dude. Worked perfectly for him. But that was the start of it, which, like I said, I didn't even realize when I was watching that piss poor ass story. Now they have come for yet another character to do the old sex swap for. And this character was a character that I did pick up when Mortal Kombat 3 first dropped. Because I'd already played Mortal Kombat 1 and 2, and Scorpion was my boy. Unfortunately, with Mortal Kombat 3, at that time, Scorpion was nowhere to be seen. We did kind of have a version of him thanks to Robot Smoke. But he just wasn't quite nailing it for me. Cyrax, though, with his net and everything, I really dug the way he played. But like it is, like everything with insert current year, we have to change. And they have now done that, like I said, with Cyrax. And here is the gameplay trailer that they put out. Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where are you?
So we've already got her. Like I said, we got her now. Instead of, because like it was for the most part, Liu Kang kept everybody the same. And yeah, Static, I also very much, I completely missed that Bo Raicho was swapped. But another change, but Cyrax isn't the only one here.
Fighting your foe unseen, attacking from a distance. There are rules.
Okay. One, it's particularly hilarious because they give her that overly like African accent. And two, I don't know what rules she could be talking about if you're going up against another goddamn ninja. There's pretty much no rules of engagement. It's called whoever can kill the other one first.
We have found Kuai Liang and his Shirai Ryu. They gather at the Wuxi for his wedding.
Attack his wedding. We may win the battle, but find we lose the war. No one will respect us.
Better to be feared than respected.
Oh, hell no. We are not doing the Red Wedding.
What?
Season 3, Episode 9.
I also do not like what they have just completely done with Johnny Cage. Like, through Mortal Kombat's 9 to 11, I was really digging his character. Even though 11 I completely hated because when I watched the story for that, they ended up replacing the new Scorpion with the old, angry, pissed off Scorpion. I was pissed about that because I liked the development with Scorpion and him kind of chilling out and restarting the Shirai Ryu. But Johnny Cage had even kind of matured a bit, and I liked what they were doing, but now they've just completely turned, and I liked the way Melee James put this. They turned him into a Redditor, basically. and it like they also pointed out, it really dates your game with the reference of basically Game of Thrones and the Red Wedding bullshit. And it's like they in a weird like way of turning him into a turbo nerd to also drop the whole specific season episode and shit like that.
How long have we known each other? That you could ever believe
You vanished without explanation. The hand my Grand Master gave me one.
You blame me for your actions?
I was wrong, thinking you worthy of that.
And they did it to Sector as well. They did the sex swap on Sector. So now, formerly he, now also a she.
Armor. You are my instructor and my commander. Don't confuse that with being my superior. My speed and skill are beyond you.
Finish him.
This is like
So yeah, that is effectively now what they are further doing with Mortal Kombat.
game looks trash.
It's really, dude, it's so sad because they've lost a lot of the style that they've had. They've lost a lot of games, unfortunately, a lot of the fun. Because even back in the day, like with the old fatalities and stuff like that, they were just over the top, crazy. Some of them were pretty just hilariously creative for some. And it was just down to just being some fun. And basically like it is, I just said, and I said it too, I was like, Mortal Kombat and the shit show it's become with the rest of gaming, bring back great character design and fun. And effectively, this is how I kind of looked at it. Best way to put it. Ed Boon then from Mortal Kombat 9 with that big smile on the face versus Ed Boon with Mortal Kombat 11 with a furry. That pretty much sums up the current base of players that they are catering to. The weirdo pro DEI fuckwits that are happy to bring about the destruction of fun. But wait, there is more. They started some additional shenanigans with this Mortal Kombat. Just to get this one out of the way really quick. And this was on the Xbox side. That with this Chaos Reign stuff, pre-order the Mortal Kombat 1 Chaos Reigns expansion experience, a brand new saga in the MK story launch. Continue, A. B, buy now. And as I understand it, the B is the kind of the default for continuing on like to the next page, but they kind of pull a bit of shenanigans to make you go into the buy now when you hit that button. So they're really trying to push you into it. And even like, is this real? Woo, this is low even for WB. They're pulling whatever shit that they can. Hey, forking around, how's it going? We're just going into some Mortal Kombat. The sadness of the state of things. And it's kind of funny, and this is pointed out as well, it's like you have the two characters that they're leading with are Cyrax and Sector, red and yellow. And what two characters are currently out in, last I knew, still out in theaters that are colored red and yellow. So it's kind of funny. Because I imagine they've already had these mock-up trailers made up. It's all set to go. All they had to do is drop this stuff. And same with the characters. All they had to do is press a button and boom, characters made available. So yeah, even as Nerdy Neo points out, B is always go back. And they try and pull something under, try and pull the rug from you to get you to go right into that purchase this DLC. This is definitely why, and furthermore, like particularly like why I stay away from modern gaming. Like I say, there's extra stuff. Not just myself, but also Melee Games, we're both just kind of diving into this, looking at Cyrax in particular, just to kind of look and to see what all the stuff is said on the character. So I grabbed his original bio. Our boy Cyrax is Unit LK4D4, the second of 3 prototype cybernetic ninjas built by the Lin Kuei. Like his counterparts, his last programmed command is to find and terminate the rogue ninja Sub-Zero. And for anybody that didn't know, Sub-Zero, there's 2 Sub-Zeros, and they're both brothers. And in Mortal Kombat 2 was when we got the new Sub-Zero, but I don't remember if you knew at that very time. You probably did. But then going into Mortal Kombat 3, Sub-Zero changed his gimmick. He basically had kind of like that. He had the shirt. Underneath, he didn't have a shirt on, but he had then like the blue bars, kind of like acting almost like suspenders. But they went down to his shirt or down to the pants, and he had the very visible red scar over his eye, which is, if I remember correct, was given to him by Scorpion. But that was basically then, the Sub-Zero going forward until Noob Saibot came along, who is, I forget the brothers between both Sub-Zeros, their names, but that Sub-Zero's older brother who was killed by Scorpion in the first Mortal Kombat.
You're not talking about the new movies, right?
No, I'm talking about the games. This is all the games, not the movies.
Okay.
But yeah, without a soul, Cyrax goes undetected by Shao Kahn and remains a possible threat against his occupation of Earth. So that was that part of it. And then I also found one other additional parts to the different endings for Cyrax, just to kind of give some extra context to what was going on. But like Mortal Kombat Gold, which again, if you aren't familiar, Mortal Kombat Gold was Mortal Kombat 4, but a special edition they released on the Dreamcast only. I always wanted to play it, but I never got the chance to because I didn't have a Dreamcast. And the buddy of mine that did have a Dreamcast, I don't think he had it for when the game had come out. But Cyrax is finally rescued from his desert prison by the Lin Kuei. Physical damage sustained while in the desert was relatively easy to repair, but Cyrax seems very different from when he first set out on his original assassination mission against Sub-Zero. Only time will tell how Cyrax has overcome his ordeal. So like it is, there is very cemented, he. Even for being a cybernetic life form. Deadly Alliance, which has a great song, fun game. I forget if it was Deadly Alliance or one of the other Mortal Kombats that had the great thing of the Harakiri, which especially like when you did online matches, you could do the Harakiri to kill yourself to basically take away the person's chance to pull a fatality on you. We freaking love doing that. But Deadly Alliance cyborg ninja Cyrax has regained his soul with the aid of Special Forces agents Sonya Blade and Jackson Briggs in return for the help. And like it is, we're clearly seeing that that in this new version of Cyrax and Sector, or at least for certainly Cyrax, either she wills herself to have her soul back or something else has gone on. But very much nothing of, at least I'm guessing, full-on cybernetic transformations that's taken place, unlike the originals here. But in return for their help, he joined the Special Forces Outworld Investigation Agency and became a scout in the realm of Outworld. On his transport to that realm, Cyrax was ambushed by a reptilian creature, most likely reptile. His arms console was damaged. His arm console was damaged in the struggle, and with it, his inter-realm portal technology. He defeated the creature, but will have to find some other means to return to Earthrealm. A vampire named Nitara offered Cyrax a deal to return him to Earthrealm if he retrieved for her an object from the molten depths of Outworld. Ooh, so that was possibly the dragon egg. His cybernetic exterior was resistant to the harsh environment in which the object was hidden, only for a short period of time. It was a risky proposition, but it was one that Cyrax was willing to take to return to Earth. Although he did not fully trust Nitara, he agreed to travel with her to the location of the mysterious object. So yeah, that's just kind of a couple of the endings. Even Mortal Kombat Armageddon had him join the Battle of Armageddon, siding with the forces of light. He tried to stop Shiva from climbing the pyramid of Argus, but was sent flying by the Shokan warrior. At the end, Cyrax's dead body is seen on the stairs of the pyramid, like so many. And that was, like I said, Armageddon was just kind of the end of it all, and what led them into doing Mortal Kombat 9. With that, what's then funny too, because thanks to Brutus here, who clipped out from Mortal Kombat 9. And even as he says, of course, the new Cyrax had to have the Wakanda accent. But remember, you are the racist, not them, thinking that every single black person in the world has the same heritage and talk with the same accent. AAA Western gaming industry. And this is from Mortal Kombat 9 here, which, to be fair, he kind of has a little bit of that going on, but not as heavily as new Cyrax.
I need to have a talk with your master. We're not machines, Sector. I chose to serve the Lin Kuei, but I will not surrender my free will.
Fighting your foe unseen, attacking from a distance. There are rules.
But yeah, that's in. I mean, the determination of Cyrax's ethnicity was even in the Mortal Kombat Gold ending. Which, let me try and get that really quick, because that was thanks to Melee Games. He found that one. Because again, like I said, I wasn't aware. I've never played the Mortal Kombat Gold. And that was where that was shown. Let me try and get the image really quick. Yeah, he said, also found today that the first unmasked appearance of Cyrax was not in MK9, but in MK Gold in 1999, which I never played because I didn't own a Dreamcast. I was the same. It's effectively an expanded version of Mortal Kombat 4 with new characters, including Cyrax, but yep, couldn't remember off the top of my head during the show of MK3 bio. Yeah, because I just started digging. I was like, okay, I want for when we were doing this, I wanted the whole Cyrax's background and stuff. And yeah, so even in MK Gold, they did show off that yes, black dude underneath, that was established pretty early on. And this is like MK Gold / Mortal Kombat 4 was the first transition into the 3D realm for the franchise. I remember it wasn't bad. I'll have to replay it again someday. But yeah. It's just funny how much they want to just completely alter this. And I get it. Like people pointed out, it's an alternate new kind of reality sort of thing, but why? Why not? And this is kind of how we talked about it with the Batman, the gender swapping of Penguin. Why? Why not just create new characters? Because
well, I got some verification on that last week. So my buddy who has been reading comics for 30 plus years did in fact tell me that they actually did do that within canon. I was not aware of it. But he said that they've done that before. They've gender swapped people in canon. So I don't.
Yeah. Yes, they've done that sort of shit before, but it doesn't make it any less right.
No, but here's the point, though, right? It's like it's interesting that they're doing it within this day and age and what's going on currently in the culture, I guess I'd say. So I don't know. I don't agree with it just because it's like if you wanted Penguin to be a female, then you should not have made him a man, right? But he was made as a male. It's the same thing that we talked about Revan, right? I promise I'm not going to go on a tangent. I'm going somewhere with this, but it's like, you were much more of a Mortal Kombat guy than I wasn't allowed to play Mortal Kombat when I was a kid. My mom's like, no, you're not playing that. It's, blah, blah. So like, I think I played it, but it was at, friends' houses, and I wasn't very good at it to begin with, but I don't know the story, but I can, I guess, come in and chime in when, you've got one of your blood characters, they gender swap like that. I just don't understand. Right. And I know why they do it. Anybody that has half a brain can understand why they're doing it, because look at look at where we're at. Like, you have to, you can't, it's sexist for you not to have a female Batman. It's sexist not to have a female Penguin. It's sexist not to have a female Mortal Kombat. And to be very clear, there were female characters in Mortal Kombat. Who was the girl that was Johnny Cage's, what was her name?
Sonya Blade?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, this is the thing. They've shown that they can do new characters. Like for the Shokan, you had originally Goro and Kentaro. Then in Mortal Kombat 3, they introduced Shiva. She made sense because you're gonna obviously have females of that race.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. Again, if they did like a reptile thing, which is kind of, I guess, chameleon, she would kind of fit that bill. Right. Although there's also a male chameleon. Not get into that. But they could have created alternatives. They could have, just like it was, just created a guy. I mean, they have no problem. Certainly, with this, like you saw with this content pack, bringing in freaking movie characters, then just create a new goddamn character. That's what all of this boils down to. Or dig through the other games, because it's not like it's just been Sonya and stuff like that. You could bring in another female character from the past. It's not just been Kitana, Jade, Melina. I know there's been others. Just dig through and bring one of them back.
You know why they're not doing that, right?
I can only guess that even Cyrax and Sector have a higher popularity than some of those other characters.
Sure, but they're too lazy. They're not going to do it, and that's not what people want.
Yeah, then there's that too.
They're lazy. It's not what people want. People want a female Penguin. People, well, I'm not going to say people, but there's a sect of people who, are shilling out for that kind of stuff. There's the same people that are shilling out for DEI and ESG and all this stuff. They want part of them want to destroy. I think there's a part of people that just want to destroy. Like everybody at Disney Lucasfilm want to destroy the Star Wars characters. Absolutely.
Right.
I think it's the same thing. It's but it comes down to like you're lazy and you can't come up with a new character, so you're just gonna do what freaking Filoni does. You're gonna rob Peter to pay Paul. You're gonna create a character, but it's not really creating a character because you just give it. It's literally Kyle Katarn. It's Kyle Katarn with the name of Cassian Andor, right? It's Jen Erso it's Jan Ors with the new name of Jen Erso.
Yeah. Well, and here's another thing. Like, have an alternative, like Shiva, or like it was for the Lin Kuei. They did have Frost, female alternative to Sub-Zero, basically, but she was her own character in that regards. You could do an alternative that way, make her an entirely separate character, and not try and kind of like usurp the current known male character, that is already known through the franchise. I'm just kind of like looking through the list because that's a funny thing. Like before this whole new reboot, they had basically the next generation coming in, which was what's her name? Cassie Cage, which is the daughter of Sonia and Johnny Cage. And Jacqueline Briggs, the daughter of Jax. There you go. I mean, you could certainly still bring her in technically. I mean, I'm just going down like this list here of every Mortal Kombat character. And that's been my thing. Like, you guys can certainly dig through all your old characters. There's this Kira gal, which I don't quite recall. Certainly a bunch of characters you could go through to revive, give new life. We've already unfortunately got Nitaro, which was voiced by Megan Fox. Yeesh.
That's rough.
Right? I'm just trying to think of who. I mean, it looks like they haven't brought. Oh, wait, I don't know if they want to. Don't bring. You know what? Leave her alone. But they did bring back. Oh, that's right. She was the first one that got good. Tanya did not get a good showing, but any of the other old characters for sure. Or again, comes back to create a bloody brand new one for God's sakes. So unfortunately, I wish I could say Mortal Kombat was in good standing. It's not anymore. I certainly.
But it hasn't been for a long time, though, man. I mean, this is
like I said, not since Mortal Kombat 10 was the last one that I bought, and for the most part, I enjoyed it. Like I said, I didn't mind some of the new characters. Certainly, like the whole next generation thing coming up. I think his name was Takeshi, who was Scorpion's pupil.
I think the last greatest Mortal Kombat game.
I actually liked playing as that character. He was pretty solid.
I would say the last great Mortal Kombat game was Nintendo 64.
That was Mortal Kombat 4.
Oh, okay. Well, you don't beat. You don't.
No, sorry. Mortal Kombat 4 and Mortal Kombat Trilogy. Which Mortal Kombat Trilogy was great because, although at the same time it's kind of a piss because so Mortal Kombat Trilogy basically combined and brought in all the characters from the previous 3 games. Even all the ones that were created for Ultimate Mortal Kombat and stuff. And they even created, I think, 2 new ones, which was the Chameleon character. But the thing was that they had 2 different versions. So they, of course, had the N64 version, which was limited. It did not have a couple of characters in it. Hang on, let me see. More Ultimate, or no. Mortal Kombat Trilogy. Differences. Because that was kind of the big thing about that one, because it's between PlayStation and N64. Yeah, N64. I don't. Okay. So just kind of going off of this really quick. Both the pros and cons for each, so ultimately you decide. PlayStation pros includes more characters, classic bosses, unmasked Sub-Zero, better sound, one button fatality cheat. Oh, I love that in Mortal Kombat 2. That was so great. Supreme fatality demonstrations, male chameleon, which was so the chameleon character was an amalgamation of, so for male chameleon was an amalgamation of all the male ninjas combined into one, and then female chameleon. Oh, no chameleon on the N64? Interesting. But includes female chameleon. So chameleon with a C is the male, and chameleon with the K is the female. But the female was then the combination of Jade, Katana, Melina. I wanted to say there was another one, but otherwise that was that. Includes Super Sub-Zero, classic Sub-Zero with all the unmasked moves. Has the unlimited fatality time cheat. That's also was very nice. Can uppercut to a new level more often. But I want the comparison of the character roster mainly just to show that off. Because that was kind of the bit, that was, like I said, that was the thing, because they did not have certain bosses that you were able to play as in the N64 version. I remember being cheesed because there were some characters that I did want to play as and we didn't have a PlayStation at the time. I'm like, God dang it, I just want to play as these characters. Or at least it was certainly fun. Yeah, so it was Kentaro and Goro that were in the PlayStation version, which is really hard to see on the back here, but it's you can kind of see the roster right there. Got Goro, Shao Kahn, Motaro, and Kentaro. And then there's there's the unmasked Sub-Zero, masked Sub-Zero versus Chameleon. But then that was the cool thing. Like, it brought in Mortal Kombat 2 Raiden because he wasn't in 3, and even that's Mortal Kombat 3 Shang Tsung. But like, for the time, it was an impressive roster. So that was like I said, that was the PlayStation version. Let me see if I can just kind of bring up the N64. Oh, that would have been much better to use. Oh, well. That's not right. God dang it, all these freaking Mugen games. You spastics. Sorry.
Mugen.
Oh, sorry. So Mugen are basically like modded fighting games and fan-made fighting games. And a lot of times people create what is the Mugen fighting games, and they'll like basically create like the ultimate like list and roster of certain fighting games, and they'll bring in some of the most bizarre ones because it really is like you can like mix and match. People have it where you can download characters and put them into your different game and everything like that. So you'll have Dragon Ball Z fighting characters. You'll have all sorts. Is it like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, it gets freaking wild sometimes. But yeah, why isn't it just giving me the dang roster for Mortal Kombat N64 for MK Trilogy? It's kind of annoying, but we're like it is. There's missing characters you can't play as in that one versus the PlayStation. But what a hell of a time! I wish Mortal Kombat was in a much better place. I'm gonna have to go back and replay some of the old ones because God, they were fun. They were so much fun. And it's just sad to see. It's sad to see a lot of fighting games in this state because I used to love playing fighting games. And I still do to a degree, but because of everything that goes on with some of them, it's just not as fun anymore.
No, they're all dead.
Sometimes now that they have such focused storylines, often are just kind of shit. I was really disappointed with Tekken 8 when I magically played that one in comparison to Tekken 7. But yeah, that's that. Any comments for you, sir, on the Mortal Kombat?
No, like I told you, for me, Mortal Kombat was Nintendo 64. That was prime, and even when they came out with, I think it came out in on Xbox. I didn't play either, so just wasn't. I just don't get the whole gender swapping thing, man. I don't get it. If that's what you want to do, then make the character like you should have made. I don't know, man. You should have made the character like what benefit does it do? What benefit does it serve? Gender swapping. I don't get it. Like I really don't. If you wanted, it is not even really your say. Like well, we want a female. We want Batman to be a female. It's like okay, well then make Batgirl, which exists. Batwoman, Batgirl, like. Yep. Barbara Gordon, but it's no that we're mad at men because men who we're mad at Bob Finger because Bob Kane because he made Batman. It's just so I just don't get it, man. It's just stupid. Like it just it's like but this is what happens. It's like I forget the dude that played the guy that plays in Emancipation, the main character for Mortal Kombat, the bad guy. Young Soon.
Oh yeah.
Whatever. Well, he should be a female. Female could play that role better. It's like, no, I mean maybe, but like that tough crap. It was he was a dude. Like, well, Revan would be better as a female. I just don't get it, man. But more importantly, I guess huh?
I said you keep pressing the Revan button.
That was the thing, though.
I know.
So, but if you want a really good Mortal Kombat game, just play the N64. That's what I'd say. Because the Xbox game sucked. I'm not a PlayStation guy.
I didn't even say go back. Yeah, go back to the PlayStation 2 era.
But again, we shouldn't have to. I say this all the time. We should not have to. Like, shame on you that we have to do this. Not shame on you, but like shame on.
I know what you mean.
That you have to. It's like, it was a couple of shows ago. Oh, it was probably a while ago, but we were doing a Mortal Kombat thing where we saw like the skin or the finish. It was a pumpkin finishing move.
The pumpkin fatality thing that you had to purchase.
Bro, like next month after we do this show, Nicki Minaj will be
bring back the pumpkin fatality thing.
I don't know. Nicki Minaj will be a skin in Mortal Kombat.
Oh God!
It's gonna happen. Watch.
I hate to say it, but you're probably not wrong.
No, I'm not wrong. Could be, but it's like it's just a sad state, and it's like, are you telling me there's nobody on this planet that can compile a decent game, that can make a decent game? What is a Smashing Pumpkin? Like, I remember, like, I wasn't able to play Mortal Kombat, bro, because of the finishing moves. They were bad. They were like offensively bad. Like Revan throwing his lightning disc, cutting the dude's head. Like, You know what I mean? Couldn't do it. Wasn't appropriate. Same thing with Doom.
Oh, but they were so much
64.
fun.
Yeah, but like, you know what I mean? Like, but it was like bad.
It was just, fun for the sake of fun. It wasn't like it is now with the whole X-ray vision and stuff like that, where
You're gonna have,
you're getting into some weird territory almost. But
the next
like they were
finishing move,
campy more than anything.
there's gonna be a finishing move on this game. Is gonna be a pillow fight.
No, that's they already have that. Those are called friendships.
Oh yeah.
See, that's the thing. You could do friendships too. You didn't always have to do a fatality. At least in Mortal Kombat 2 and on, when they had that. Or the babality, and you turned them into a baby.
Friendship.
They used to be so. It used to be so. Just some campy fun. Ah,
Yeah.
bad.
You know what? I don't. It's like, yeah, let's just be friends.
we had a grueling fight. Let's be friends.
How do you win the tournament if you're just friends? What's that song? Why can't we be friends? Because
I must win Mortal Kombat.
Right. How do you? Yeah. It's like, how do you do it? How do you win the tournament? I don't know.
Very carefully.
You're giving these people ideas. Marcus Phoenix. They're gonna gender swap Marcus Phoenix.
Oh God. Give him time. Give him time. All right, let me go back to some of these comments really quick here. Let's see. I don't know how far back. Let's go back to when we Static with the Mortal Kombat. Brandon Trent says, unpopular fun fact. Did you know Robert Pattinson is a fan of OG Final Fantasy VII? I think I heard something about that. I think I did hear that. Static 2020 said, I haven't played the newest one yet, the newest Mortal Kombat. Neither have I. I haven't played it. I only watched the storyline that somebody put up on their YouTube channel because I was not paying for this shit. Especially after I saw the ugification of the female characters and everything. I think Katana was the only one that made it out okay. Otherwise, the rest were very iffy. Star Wars Marvel Pure says, yeah, my daughter has it. Mortal Kombat 10 is where it ends for me. LOL. 11 and 1 are dog shit. Yeah. I like I said, I just was so disappointed with some of the direction they took. And then it's just the whole thing of like, now we have ultimate time manipulation powers. And I knew what was going to happen. It was just going to be called, all right. I knew it was going to go like one or two ways. Because like, I think we were taught when we were talking about Mortal Kombat 1 before it even dropped, I'm like, they can only go certain ways with this because it means Liu Kang is the turbo god. Like who's gonna mess with him? Who's gonna stop him? Because he can just manipulate time and snap his fingers and boom. But even then, like he is still like I thought he would have already reset it himself and put himself back into the timeline, but no, he's still around as a god. Limited lifespan god, but still a god. And it's just ridiculous. It's like that's when I think my brother even said this. Is like that's when the series has jumped the shark. Is like when you start introducing these levels of time travel bullshittery that did not have it originally, and it's like, oh, there we go. Marvel Pure says, I raised my kids playing Mortal Kombat and Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1 for the oldest. And younger daughter, Ultimate Alliance 2 and Mortal Kombat. Oh God. Ultimate Alliance is fun. Was that the isometric top-down one? I want to say it was. Yeah. Ultimate Alliance was fun. I think my brother and I played Ultimate Alliance 2 on the 360. Oh, excuse me. On the 360. Yeah, that one was pretty fun. Oh, right. I already got to that one earlier. Marvel Pure says, "Yeah, Cyrex is fun. I didn't know they sex changed him. What the fuck?" I know. When they dropped that trailer, I was like, "You've got to be shitting me." And no, not race swap. It's still the appropriate. It's still appropriate on that end. Jade was vilified, I know that. Jade and what was their name? Tanya or whatever. She got the the ugification. Static says, how much do you want to bet it's because the cable's coming out the back of the head? Probably. To simulate the dreadlocks, yeah. And Static said, oh fuck, that red wedding line this is retarded. It's some of the cringiest shit. Wakanda forever! Make Outworld great again, Orange Man Pat. Maybe that was Shao Kahn in this game. He was trying to make Outworld great, but unfortunately they stopped him. Meteor Advocate Timon, holy F. Black people can only be African. Well, I was not aware of this. Fuck you, kicking a missile.
No, they can be.
That was pretty ridiculous. Yes, they can. They can be. Thank you, Ubisoft. They can be samurai. Timon also said, since they are no more robots, where do they keep the missiles? There's the question. Let's see. Marvel Purist said, I never knew Sector and Cyrax were part of the Dora Milaje? Forking around and said, who's asking for his big gnarly horn? Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh my god, I was at the beginning of the episode when I said that. Oh dear. Oh, at the beginning of the stream. Oh dear. Nerdy Neo said, I tried to find that page on the Xbox store, but wasn't able. Maybe they removed it. I believe people were confirming it in the comments and stuff too. In Melee Games, they were reporting on it and they were confirmed. They said they had confirmation too. Forking around said, someone on Twitter pointed out, why does the mainstream always have black stock like they are from Wakanda? That's the big question. Because they feel like they'd be too stereotypical if they gave him an American. I don't know how to finish that without trying to think of the American black gangsta slang. I don't know. Marvel Pierce says, so much lore in Mortal Kombat, love it. It had a lot of great lore, a lot of stuff that I didn't quite know about, but it's like Ed Boon and John Tobias in particular really was the guy that was fleshing out a lot of the lore and story and stuff like that. And unfortunately, he did leave, and he was also, I believe, the guy that did a lot of work with the soundtrack. And after he left with after Mortal Kombat 4, there was a noticeable change in the soundtrack. It lost a lot of kind of the uniqueness to it. I can't exactly pinpoint like exactly how to describe it, or like, you know, how to describe what the sound was, but it was very unique to the game. And once he left, like, it kind of got a little more like generic, or either orchestrated, or like I said, I'll have to play through those old games again to get an idea, but it definitely lost a lot of what was going for that side of it. Marvel Pierce says, Deadly Alliance is probably my favorite and most played Mortal Kombat game of all time. Great story. Played the first two more at the arcade. Dude, the arcade was rough to play because you get freaking whomped by especially by the freaking AI. Let alone not having to worry about some other somebody else coming along to beat you into the ground. Good times though. I still occasionally for Deadly Alliance, I still occasionally listen to the Edema song that was done for that game. She-Rax and She-Chektor. It's kind of a weird one to try and say, but that's what Timon. She-Rax from Zamunda. Nerdy Neo says my favorite was Mortal Kombat Ultra. That was Ultra. Ultra. I'm a little lost, scared, and confused, sir. MK. Neo, if it's what I have found, shame on you, sir. Shame on you. Because this is what I found. I put in Mortal Kombat Ultra. MK Ultra Girls. Is that right? Is that right, Neo? You got some explaining to do. Marvel Pure said they're using multiverse as a vehicle for justifying all of this crap. Pretty much. Static says to use the excuse that Batman doesn't have enough female villains is a blatant lie. That is the excuse being given, not that the comics did it before. I saw that whole from what was it? Bruce Timm, I think it is, the guy that's in charge of the new show. And I think Paul Dini probably had a lot of I think he probably was the guy reining him in. Especially from saying a lot of this dumb shit, because yeah, in Batman the Animated Series, they created plenty of new female villains. Not just Harley Quinn, but I believe they created others. Static thing. It happened in the comics as a cope. Oh, Pierce says at the end of the day, it's the communist agenda. Yes. They're going back and forth on some other stuff. Timon stopped at Mortal Kombat 3. Wow. Really? I kept going. I love the series so much. Even as rough as it can sometimes be trying to play. I just remember being so excited because Mortal Kombat 3 was like the first one I did legitimately beat. I kind of cheesed it a bit because, as I recall, Shiva did a little more damage than some people. So when I got to Motaro and Shao Kahn, I ended up just like switching over to her, and that was either with her or I did end up beating it with somebody else because still Shao Kahn whooped me good. And I remember too because the first time getting to Shao Kahn, fighting him, and he of course taunts you and insults you during the fight, but like I think it's after he beat me and he does his whole point, and he's like, "You suck." We just busted a gut laughing so freaking hard over that. Don't know why. It just nailed us of just falling over laughing so goddamn hard. I think just because it was just the idea of just having the big bad just point at us, just saying that, just going, "You suck." We're like, damn, man. Yeah, we just laid us the fuck out. It was hilarious. God, yeah, they're going back and forth with the Batman. Brandon Trent said Batman Cape Crusader gender swapping Penguin is just lazy writing. Bruce Timm forgot about other female Batman villains: Nissa Ratako, Sophia Falcone, Cheshire, Ravenger, and Sandra Fuller, Lady Clay. I didn't know there was a Lady Clay. But yeah, they shit the bed. Static says the latest Street Fighter was fun. Didn't they have a Troon in that one? I could have sworn they had a manatee, either voicing a character or was actually a character in the game. I forget which. Marvel Purist says, dude, I roll to my house for lunch and my buddies from work, and I would play Deadly Alliance every day until lunch was over. Nice. Oh, like I said, such good times. Static corrects you. He says, nah, it'll be Megan Thee Stallion. Lizzo's old hat. It's Megan Thee Stallion now. Marvel Pure said Mitra Surik would be a better as a. That's how I play. That's my current KOTOR 2 grunt as a male. To me, that's canon. No. Brendan Trent says, speaking of fighting games, Multiverse, which is supposed to be WB and Cartoon Network crossover game, exists clone. But it's not as fun as Super Smash Brothers on the Nintendo 3D. Well, and also what I heard, like they censored Velma's like super ability. Originally she called the cops, but then they turned it into like, I think like a Fed van or something like that. Like they just like completely changed up her ultra in that game. And then he says, did you guys check the Xbox 360 store one last time before it closed? Closed down on July 29th, which was 2 weeks ago. I don't have a 360 anymore, so I didn't know how to check it out, even if I could. How about you, Hitman? Did you scope out any games before they closed down the Xbox 360 side of the store?
No, because them shutting down Halo 3 was just too heart-wrenching.
Oh, yeah.
It's just the 360. I mean, that was elite, man. That was probably the best. I mean, out of all the Xboxes, man, 360 was the best, bar none, in my opinion. But
Red Ring of Death be damned. It was a good
yeah, but
system.
I never got it. So I think it's a myth. I never got it. And I put so many miles on KOTOR, man, when I was supposed to be doing my homework instead.
Nice. Actually, now technically 3. My third and last 360 died and got the Red Ring of Death. Sad days. Meteor having a Timona. MK Ultra Project! Oh no. Nerdy Neo, MK Ultra's government brainwashing conspiracy. Ha! It was a crappy looking TV cartoon. A meteor advocate as in yep. Them damn glowies. But we have to be careful when we're mentioning glowies because sometimes they show up. Nerdy Neo said I did. Brandon bought a few games before it closed. I wish I was able to. I wish I could have. Or else I would have. But Static said, yeah, they had a manatee as a character in the story. Wasn't a fighter or anything from what I played. You know, you can't trust current year games. Yeah, sad day. Nerdino said it quote, it happened to me, so it must not have actually, or it did happen to me, so it must not have actually happened. That's what Hitman's saying. It didn't happen to him, so it wasn't true.
It could be a conspiracy theory. I don't know. I never saw it.
Yeah.
It was always green, not red.
It's new to me.
It was always green, not red.
Well, aren't you the lucky one?
Probably.
I mean, that was kind of the funny thing. I heard some of the same stuff with the PlayStation 3 back in the day. But I know I had I'm pretty sure I had a Gen 1 of the PS3, and that one, I don't think it ever died out on me. Okay. All right.
Doom.
It's time for the doots. So This extra bit got to my attention thanks to, I think, we're just like swapping information between myself and Melee Games, because Melee Games had tagged both of us, and that was kind of, I think, what helped pop off your Twitter a bit. But he said, was watching Fractured Filter and Jay Hitman discuss Doom 1+2 changes and didn't even realize Doom 3 got messed with as well, which is the Doom 3 BFG edition. BFG is now relabeled to Doom 3 in the Steam store. Doom 3 is delisted. Still separate games in your library. BFG directs to Doom 3, while Doom 3 directs to a taken down store page. Just when I thought it couldn't get more complicated, check out their deep dive here, which was, I had clipped out our discussion of the Doom 1+2 release, and when that was dropping during QuakeCon and all that. And yeah, like he shows here, the Doom 3 BFG edition and Resurrection of Evil is exactly how it shows up, hang on, in my store as well, as I recall, because I was showing it off last week. And it was quite the thing to discover. Because like it was, I have full distrust of Bethesda, of what they do. I don't like them. I don't like them anymore, certainly, I should say. But yeah, so like they did again, kind of pulled the merge bait and switch. Excuse me. Because again, recent reviews mostly positive. They're again doing that whole thing, and like I'll kind of dang it. Here we go. Let me show the window here. Kind of tough to see, but so yeah, you got it off to the side here. Master levels, Final Doom, Doom Eternal. So there's the Doom 3, Resurrection of Evil, Doom 3. And I think that here's the BFG edition. Like I said, I didn't even purchase this originally. I just got it because I had the Doom 3 edition. And along with Resurrection of Evil as the side. Like I said, there's some of the other games, the Final Doom and Master Levels as a Doom 2 Master Levels separate. And I have been playing a bit of this. Here's kind of the funny thing, too, when it comes to the Doom 1+2. And I was looking at some guides. It's pretty screwy because I'm pretty sure, let me find the achievement guide here, that some of the achievements are broken. And I say, the reason why I say this is because for the achievement down here, let's get to it. Where is it? Here we go. So there's the achievement on here. The only thing they fear is you. Complete any monster-filled level with 100% kills. Unfortunately, I can't zoom in on this because I have it up on my store, Steam app program, whatever, launcher. So let me restart that. Complete any monster-filled level with 100% kills without taking any damage on ultra violence or higher. And here's kind of the person, they did have somebody that gave a tip by Steam user Lennon4K. As it says here, part of the instructions, do it on the map 01 entryway from Doom 2. 1, kill all the enemies in the map. Doesn't matter if you get shot, just keep forward and be sure to kill every single enemy in the level. 2, and here's the thing, do not do this on nightmare mode unless you are solid, because good lord, I was trying it, and on nightmare mode the enemies keep spawning in, so like I just through attrition they kept killing me and I just could not get through it. But on ultra violence, I was able to do this. And this is the thing. Here to go further. 2, take med kits and be sure your health is 100 is 100. 3, get in front of the exit and press F5, save game bind, which is the in-game. That's how it is in-game. I didn't mod it or anything like that either. So you can save your game, but then you exit the level. At the start of the next level, press F9, which is the load game bind. It will automatically load the previous saved game. 6, now you will be in front of the last level again. Go ahead and exit once again. 7, profit. And yes, I did those exact steps. And once I basically hit to exit the level again, I got the achievement popped. So, because I like it is, you do leave the level, you do not get the achievement. And I had 100% health. Load the game back up, or load that save file back up, and then reactivate it. Boom. So, I think it's a bit of a broken achievement right there, which is kind of funny and not being quite discussed as such. But that's what I'm calling it. Unless, like, if Nerdy Neo, if you would say differently, you're the achievement guy. But I would kind of list that as a bit of a broken one. You have to do that sort of thing as a workaround, because then, like other ones, I was able to do just fine. For example, like get a man and a half, get 20 kills using a berserk power up in a single level. I went to this exact level and was able to, boom, get it, no problemo. The only one I don't know if I'll ever be able to do it really is this untouchable, because it sounds like, again, some weird workaround stuff. So untouchable, complete 8 different levels sequentially under par time without dying on ultra violence or higher. So here's the thing. There are 3 ways of doing it. 1, I'm too young to die. Just type exit level in console 8 times. 2, hurt me plenty. This tip came by Steam user ERC. ERC. Untouchable can be unlocked with the no monsters modifier enabled. Just got it in a E1M1 to E1M7 run. You should also visit E1M9. Of course, since E1M8 cannot be completed with this modifier. The order of the levels should be like this: E1M1 to M2, M3, then M9, M4, M5, M6, and M7. And E1 M9 is so like they say here, if you don't know how to get to the secret level E1 M9, check out the alternate dimensions achievement description above. That's an easy basically quote unquote hidden level to go to. But then 3, ultra violence, the good old fashioned honest grind. Here's the video of me doing it in the right way without any tricks. I suggest you trying to doing it like that. It's a lot of fun and can be pretty challenging. These kind of seem like broken ways of getting the achievement. I'm not necessarily against it. I'm not going to report it. It's on Bethesda and its software to know about this stuff and correct it. I doubt they're going to see this stream, or when I clip this out, the video. So fuck you guys. Eat a dick. But this also seems like kind of a broken thing to do, especially if you are typing in the console. Like, doing console cheats should negate the ability to earn the achievements, and using some modifier, which I don't know, but then I don't know if that's a mod or again another console command, which again I think should technically, again, negate you ability to earn that, because like it is, a lot of times when you start installing mods and stuff like that for a lot of games, they disable the ability to earn achievements. Like a lot of the Fallouts and stuff like that. Anytime I have, added achievements, they always say your achievements have been disabled, basically, unless you try and get a mod to re-enable achievements. Kind of tricky and doesn't always work, but But yeah, so Nerdy Neo did say, according to true achievements, there are no broken achievements. Okay, all right. But I mean, hey, on that true achievement website, they were talking about the bounty hunter one. And then it says, as long as you don't change code or use outside tools, it's not cheating. If it's built into the game, it's fine. I just look at it in certain ways, you know, like to me, like using the console commands kind of acts like cheating in a way, considering what you can enable for console commands. And if it's not acknowledging it, just seems a little weird to me. But like you say, I'm not gonna, you know, go against that. I get it. And like I say, I'm not reporting. I'm not going to like go directly to id Software or anything like that and be like, hey guys, guess what? No, screw that. I ain't doing that. But no, and yeah, as Nerdy Neo says, it's up to the dev if they want in-game cheats to disable achievements. Agreed. And like I said, that's what happens certainly with Fallout and stuff like that. When you install mods, boom, disabled. You don't get to use those the access to achievements. So, and I like it is I'll say, for what I can tell from what I have played, and I do have some extra information, but from what I've played though, the game itself is for the most part Doom, and I've had kind of fun earning some of these achievements. They do have the different soundtracks. Like it was Andrew Hulshult. They have that soundtrack. They have also like the different versions that have been released for it. So and funnily enough, I did end up like switching back to the original soundtrack just because there's something about it that's just freaking great. But yeah, so I've like this. I've earned some of the achievements. I've had fun doing so. This is the problem. I do hate that Night Dive did. They did the oh god, it's like this special Doom expansion to Doom 2. But apparently it's pretty solid for what's been put together for it. And Nerdy Neo saying, I hate that Skyrim mods disable achievements automatically, especially if it's just like an texture pack or something like that. Yeah, no, if it's like a very innocuous sort of mod that is doing like texture updates or skylighting or, you know, just things that are enhancing the graphics, sound, different soundtrack, whatever. Because like with Fallout, with Fallout 3, we used to have to mod the original soundtrack from Fallouts 1 and 2 into that game. So that would disable, for Fallout 3, that would disable the achievements, which always sucked. And especially sucked because it was Windows Live, and Windows Live was a piece of shit. Until it went to Steam. And then Steam was fine. But then Steam, they still disabled achievements through that. But now here's going to be the next kicker. So while some of it seems hunky-dory, thanks to the wonderful people over in the Melee Games Discord, who did also some super sleuthing, and all credits to them, and I took screenshots. It seems that as you go into some of the Wolfenstein levels, because like it is, they have secret levels and they have reference to the Wolfenstein game, which was what predated Doom, kind of Doom's daddy. But so so wait here in the Melee Games Discord, which is a public Discord. You can all go on over there. There's a great community they've got going over there. Said, WTF, just noticed they censored the Wolfenstein levels in the new Doom update. even removed Hitler's mustache and gave him the weird upside down triangle symbol instead of the swastika. Here, Melee James had said, for fuck's sake, what a great mandatory update. Now I'm curious if they censored in the previous Steam release. Apparently they were censored in Doom 3 BFG, but don't know if it was gone back and forth. This was a good point because now I'm also curious. Like, if I remember right, I know they put some Wolfenstein, the classic Wolfenstein levels in the Wolfenstein remake that they did a couple years ago. I like how I said, okay? Back up off me. But I also want to say in the Doom 2016, I want to say they had Wolfenstein levels, but I'm trying to remember if they were censored in either of those games as well. But it's he had here, and I don't know if I clipped it separately. Yeah. Despite previous claims that it would not be modifying the version of Doom or Doom 2 included with Doom 3 BFG edition, the secret levels have been heavily modified. All Nazi imagery, including swastikas and portraits of Adolf Hitler, have been removed, and the Wolfenstein SS enemies have been replaced with standard former humans. These changes were most likely made to allow Doom 3 BFG edition to be distributed in Germany, which, yes, for Germany to receive games in particular, they have to remove all signs and all quote unquote references to World War II and to, Nazi Germany, to things of the Holocaust and stuff like that, because this was something that I didn't really know about until I did the QA testing. And I was testing on Hellgate London, and we had to go through and check where all of things like zombies appeared, because you cannot have zombies because those are reference to the Holocaust. So we had to make sure and test and check the German build, even though I didn't understand a word of German, but had to go through the build and check to see if the monsters had been changed or not. But going on with this, additionally, because of this removal of the reference, the level has been renamed IDKFA after the classic Doom cheat code, which has also been removed from the BFG edition. Also, the music track, quote unquote, Evil Incarnate, has been switched out with the track Doom. So Melee James here checked in the previously release that was wiped since Doom 2 remained in our library. Unless they retroactively changed this, which wouldn't surprise me, honestly. It was censored in that release as well. So this has been possibly changed since Doom 3. Woo. And yeah, this is what more of the imagery changed. And here you see the SS members have been changed to the regular Doom zombies. Saying Melee James said, yeah, in Doom BFG version, they removed all art and the SS guards are just standard zombies. So after this release, they brought them back upside down, Triangle Man. And that, I thought hang on. It's not going to the other one. For some reason, it's not going to the next one. But yeah, here's kind of the more fuller image of the room. And like I said, there's the regular zombie soldiers that you encounter. We'll maybe get to that whole green health item back there. That's another can of worms. The interesting part, though, at least, is Wait here did some more super sleuthing and said, I just reinstalled Doom 2 as well. Spirits on even the health packs are updated. Wait, this is Unity. When was Doom ported to Unity? And I wasn't aware that it got a Unity port either. That's kind of interesting. And then again, as Millie James here says, think that call came from a former batch of Steam releases. That's in regards to the Unity port. So it says the last release was Unity, and Doom 1+2 release is Kex engine. Also, so there it is. Kex engine is the Night Dive engine. Also, why they made the new episode, and it's got all the Vault stuff now. So the Vault stuff is basically kind of the menu launcher that you go into when you're selecting the different versions of Doom that you can play, not just the main, not just like Dooms 1 and 2, but then the other like the final levels, the Ultimate, and then the other two kind of modded ones. And so here's kind of the thing that it says for the Doom Classic Unity port. Doom Classic Unity port is a series of official ports of Doom 1 and 2, initially developed by Nerve Software in cooperation with id Software, first published by Bethesda July 26, 2019, as part of the Year of Doom promotional campaign. It was initially announced on stage during the QuakeCon of 2019. Keynote presentation, the port is based on Doom Classic codebase, but replaced with id Tech 4 shell with one based on the Unity game engine. This offers immediately portability to a wide array of targets. The Doom and Doom 2 ports were available at initial launch for the PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, and Microsoft Xbox One. The Google Play App Store for Android and Apple's iOS App Store. January 9th, 2020, patch added a PC version via the Bethesda.net distribution platform. This was also extended to the Steam distribution platform by September 3rd of 2020. As of August 17th, 2022, it is now included with the GOG versions of Doom 1 and 2. As of August 18th, it has also been released on the Epic Games Store. In May 2023, it was added to the PlayStation Plus Premium. And then August 8th, 2024, an update of Doom was revealed. So that's what we're dealing with now, showing that among other features, the Unity portion of the engine had been replaced with the Kex engine. This new version, named Doom plus Doom 2, features additional enhancements, notably boom compatibility and support of a new episode with new weapons and monsters. Then the Kex engine here. Again, this is thanks to Melee James, who got this information. So the Kex engine is a proprietary cross-platform game engine framework originally created by Samuel Villarreal Kaiser for Night Dive Studios. Is that the asshole that had that stupid comment that we went over? I don't. Maybe not. Because he was the CEO. They're not saying this guy is the CEO or anything. Provide special support for the remastering of older titles, providing system abstraction layers and a broad range of interfaces to various libraries and platform APIs, while remaining largely agnostic with respect to how game logic should function. This is exploited within Night Dive to bring aging titles rapidly up to date. Kind of a bit of insight to what they do for, like it is. Yeah, bringing old titles to modern systems. Kind of interesting on that front. Kex 3 was a nearly complete rewrite and redesign of the older Kex 2 code base. Its innovations included added support for a multi-threaded game loop allowing maximum GPU usage, support for the Vulkan rendering API, and portability to various console platforms. As of 2021, Kex 4 is currently in development and exchanges the multi-threaded game loop for GPU-level parallelism. That was a hard one to say. It is notable for becoming the basis for the 2020 re-release of Doom 64 and the 2024 re-release of Doom and Doom 2 as the Doom plus Doom 2. That's kind of funny considering they already had a .wad file, which are basically the files for Doom, and you could take the Doom 64 file over and put it into GZ Doom, mod it to then play Brutal Doom 64, which I highly recommend. Great mod. Lots of fun. Lots of chaos. And then
the Kex Engine 5 or the Kex 5.
they'll get there eventually. And so again, some more super sleuthing that came from Wait here. He did discover that he said, so I didn't expect this to work. Had an old copy of the WAD from my Brutal Doom install. Just putting it in there in the re-release folder restored the old assets. So if you still want some of the old assets of the original Doom and you have the original install files, you can take the original .wad file of Doom and plop it into the re-release. So it should just take over just naturally. It should be okay by the sounds of it, and it will restore the original basically texture files and imagery for the game.
How
it takes over?
Yeah.
It'll just replace the original .wad file for Doom.
The music, everything that's the game.
I mean, it'll still allow you to select, and like it is, they just allow you to select the different versions of the songs. So, again, as you can see much more close up, they restored you could restore the imagery with just the original files. This is just a simple problem when it comes to all of this, when it comes to digital games in particular. And this is even, I'll just bring this up as kind of some background for right now. This is just the initial, problem that I have had with digital games, because as I was hearing from the original physical copies, I believe for the Switch Doom, the Doom on Switch and Xbox 360, I want to say, have the availability to still play the original version of the game. It's sad. It's stupid, especially because, like it's been said, PC has been the place of where you are meant to generally have a much, ease of accessibility to different version of games and stuff like that. But this whole forced conversion shit is ridiculous. People should have the ability and not have to go through leaps and bounds like I described for the Fallout Vault 13 mod. I had to go through steps just to reverse, basically, I don't know if reverse engineer is the right word, but roll back to another previous version of Fallout 4 just so I could play that mod, because Bethesda just launched this new version of the game right as, for one, the Fallout London mod was dropping, and just in general, and every time they drop a new update, it always breaks something, especially when it comes to modifications of the game. Not allowing you really to do stopping the updates, because oftentimes when you kind of launch certain things, maybe on console and stuff like that, the update just automatically kicks in. Sometimes with Steam, you can stop those. I know my brother has, I think, for like the Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, but sometimes they just kind of kick in and start installing, and you don't always get a chance to stop it. And when you automatically are changing the store pages to, reflect the new versions like it is, we went over this partly last week. Already, all the reviews are set for the new version of the game and not And like it is, this is Melee James's review, posted February 18th, 2021. This version of Doom hadn't been released, so and like buy an Alienware PC with RTX 2080 Super GPU, installs Doom. That's what we all do. But no, this is the thing. Like, this is some weird, goofy shit that there are some shenanigans that we pointed out that they're doing with this, and like it is, Doom 3 is no longer available on the store page, Steam store page, and it's just now, I think, the BFG edition here. Yep.
Do you have this? Have you done this yet?
I haven't played this yet. No, I haven't played Doom 3. Doom 3 is the one version of Doom that I have not played. As I understand it too, Doom 3 is completely not separate. It's like a whole new protagonist instead of Doom guy, who after Doom 64 stayed in hell to keep killing demons. This is how freaking metal he is. But Doom 3 is an entire okay. So here we go. I have this curator that I follow, Cut Content Police. And they had it for Doom 3. Jesus, all that anime shit. Where was it? I was trying to see I was trying to see where. But like it says right here, censored content. The included Doom 1 and 2 ports replace red crosses with pills and removes the Nazi symbolism. Patch link below to restore. So you can restore that content. Let me bring this up really quick. But yeah, part of this PC Gaming Wiki website that you can find through that Cut Content curator page. But yeah, Doom 3 BFG edition is an overhaul version of the original Doom 3. Its Resurrection of Evil expansion pack and Lost Mission graphics and audio were updated. Several gameplay changes were implemented. Checkpoint-based save system, flashlight being built into the armor, native stereoscopic 3D. Despite the amount of new additions, this version suffers from many flaws, which resulted in getting a mixed reception, such as muzzle flashes from weapons, no longer lights surrounding environments, corpses clipping through each other. Oh, that's always lovely. When killed, missing EAX audio, no support for modifications without a source port, compressed textures with heavy color banding, the environments overall being more brighter, the game overall being much easier than the original version, and cutscenes being unskippable. Simplified level design, especially for Resurrection of Evil, an excessive amount of extra ammunition compared to the original Doom 3, chain gun fires at a slower rate, and compressed audio. The versions of Doom and Doom 2 included with Doom 3 BFG Edition also have flaws of their own, as they contain unique IWADs, which may not be compatible with all Doom source ports. Incorrect lighting and aspect ratio. This is also where they get to the difficulty has been removed. Red medical crosses on recovery items being altered in both games, along with the old Nazi iconography from the secret Wolfenstein 3D levels in Doom 2. But I want to see where this. So like they have this other information here. Where's the mod that it was mentioning? So they do have like essential improvements. The skip intro videos, modify the intro videos. Here, you can get the game configuration stuff, the files, save game data locations, game cloud syncing fixes, or over here. Definitely, you can check that out. Needless to say, a lot of goofy shit is going on with this whole Doom 3, Doom 1 and 2 re-release. It's really ridiculous that they just merged the two games together, or they just merged the games onto the original. They didn't do it as an entirely new re-release for its own new Steam page. It's completely taking off of the original, which is very shady shit to do and very disingenuous. You should have just created a brand new page.
The best game they can.
What's that?
They just want to create the best game they can.
It's not even creating the best. They didn't even create it. They're just re-releasing the damn thing.
From a certain point of view.
Oh, no. See what you did there. I see what you did there. So, and it does suck that you don't have access to these other iterations. It's silly. Just allow people the choice, but they can't allow that. They have to make sure and force you into the new slop. One way or another, they got to do it.
I will not be getting it.
The only thing that I can say is that, like for some of it, it's still for the most part Doom. Ailey James was really talking up the multiplayer side. Apparently, that works pretty well. It's co-op. Maybe even Sheefster and I will have to maybe check it out someday. I don't know.
You're gonna pay for this?
I already own it. I bought this. So like it was, if you already owned Doom and Doom 2 or whatever, you got this for free. You got this. They merged this game already. That's what I said last week too. Even though I didn't buy it, I already got it. And like it was, I only owned Doom 3, but I got the Doom BFG edition from this whole thing. Even though I never purchased it.
Is this the same? This is the same company where you said you bought something, but it hadn't come in the mail yet, right? Or is this the same place that you got it from?
No. So Night Dive is that company, but they helped with the some of the revamps for the system and stuff, and the whole thing for the way it sets up for selecting the different games and stuff.
I got it.
So, yeah.
Well, maybe.
That's the. Sorry, say it again.
Maybe have Sheester do it with you.
Well, that's what I was saying. He and I, because we'd already bought Doom well before Bethesda even bought out id Software. So, we'd already owned it. So, like it was, we got this version for free, and yeah, maybe Sheefster and I might have to check out the co-op campaign, see how that plays.
It won't compete with Nintendo 64.
Doom 64 is top tier. I'll stay by that. That one was freaking great. But yeah. So that's the Doom update.
Very shystery.
Very fucking shystery.
Like
it's some shystery shit.
Like it makes my skin crawl, and I'm not even like a PC guy, and I'm like, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's a really bad example. It was like, well, that's bad example. It's like buying French fries and waiting for them to get old and crusty, and then putting them in some water and reselling them.
Do you think you're rejuvenating them?
Rejuvenate the crusty, but I mean, Doom's obviously it's a game, but I mean, it's almost like you're just merging two games. So it's like, how does that even play though? You didn't rewrite the story. You're just merging two games. So it's like, it would be like, I mean, if I want to be sure I'm understanding this whole article, but for concept, it's like if I merged Gears 1 and Gears 2 and just straight played through the game.
Well, like it is, you have the ability to select either to play through Doom 1 or you can select and play through Doom 2 separately. They are not like merged together or anything like that. You just have the ability to select the different games that you want to play for.
How are they making money off that? They're just giving you the option. So they've got a monopoly on.
They're hoping on new audiences to pick up the game, or for old bitches like myself to that already has it, already got it for free, to maybe,
But they didn't come up with anything. They just merged the game. So that's what they're selling. They're selling the fact that they were able to merge the game.
yes, basically. And like it is, they own the original company that first developed Doom.
Okay, that may all right. So they're not. That's still shystery though, man. Even if you own.
Oh, I agree.
It's like adding an. It's like
especially then when they start censoring content, and like you already said, it's like the whole merging of the game on the old store to still reflect those old reviews and not be a whole new system.
I still think that's shystery.
Oh, I agree.
You have to make a buck. That's, I mean, if you're gonna re-release the game and you want to make money off of it, like do texture pack it. Like what I'm not like I don't know the lingo, but like do texture mods or do some type of revamping of the game. But if you're just selling,
well, they did. Like I said, they added the different music. They made the ability.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is too is like when I played it, it still has the original like playing configuration.
Yeah.
But when you put the Doom WAD files into like GZ Doom, you've got full like mobility. Like you can look all around yourself and even jump and stuff like that. Like all that's still cut out of these versions of Doom. So it's like I said, it is funny. It's still the original gameplay, but like they do little other things to try and go, oh no, it's a little different.
To make it worth you to buy it.
I guess I don't know. But that's the idea.
Don't mess with the music, man. Like it would be like if they re-release Revenge of the Sith.
Thankfully, they didn't. You have the ability to select the original,
right?
music.
But it's like if they re-release Revenge of the Sith for Xbox,
and
they took out all the music. They just added new like Rise of Palpatine music or something like that. Like don't touch the music. But I think that
it's some goofy shit.
For me, the like being able to play an old game and the way that the old game operated is part of the fun and the nostalgia, right? Like Shadows of the Empire, like I can't even imagine if they like modded that game today and whatever. I mean, if they did the same thing, like I don't know, man. I think there's something to be, because I'd be livid. Like you play like Mario.
There's something to be like, there's something to be said to play an old game on its original hardware,
right? So I bet it's obviously not possible with old game systems retiring and whatnot. But there's something to be said for the originality, and I think that's no different than collectors collect. They want original, untouched stuff.
Yeah,
for me,
absolutely.
Gaming, I'd like to get to the closest I can to, because it kind of defeats the purpose of nostalgia. But again, I guess I'm hypocritical because like if you're gonna mod, I mean that's the whole point of modding a game, right? To kind of revamp it and whatnot. But I don't know. It seems like they just merge the game and you get it like they're 1 and 2, but then they're giving the option to either play it singular, alone, or play it as one, right? So like, what else are you really like? What else have you? It's like, is it a better mousetrap? Like, what are you selling? The ability to play one or the other or all together? Like, fine, I guess. I mean, I couldn't do it, so I mean, therefore, I mean, it's capitalism, right? You've come up with a way to do something, and you're selling it. I get it, but I mean, just what's the difference between just having 1 and 2? Play 1 and then put in 2.
There you go.
Like, I don't. I guess, like, do you understand the point of this? Is it the convenience of being able to either no, I just want to play 1, or I want to play 2, or I'm going to play 1 and 2 together?
I'm sorry. Wait, say that again.
Well, I'm trying to understand this, right? So it's like you have the ability to play Doom 1, and you have the ability to play Doom 2, or you could play Doom 1 and 2 consecutively.
No, they don't have it where it's just like goes right into the second game.
That's what I got confused on. Okay, so it's either
sorry. They're just the way they have it kind of marketed now is that it's Doom plus Doom 2. So it's just when you're picking up that pack, you're getting both games plus those extra versions that come with it. So, but the main selling point is that when you buy it, you're getting 2 games for 1, basically.
But we haven't even really gone into depth where you bought a game, but you still haven't got it, right? So are they pulling what was the company we reviewed 2 weeks ago? What is it?
Limited run games.
Are they turning out to be limited run where you're not going to get your game?
No, I already have. No, I'll update later when I do receive that stuff. But that was for an entirely different game.
Okay.
Yeah.
On the same page. I was thinking that this was okay. This was somehow connected.
No, not in this instance.
I just want to make sure they're not going to be like limited run where you bought something and then they just turn out. And
no, because like I said, they already got this updated version of Doom. Okay. Well, I already have it. It's in my games list, so nothing to. Okay. Yeah.
Got it. Because I'll email them, like, if you want, like, I will get hold of them and be like, hey, like, we just reviewed this other company that said that they sent this guy a game and they didn't. So better run games or limited run games.
I appreciate it, sir. I appreciate it. Let me get back to some of the chat really quick. Timon had said, can you read again? I was lost after step 2. No reading for you.
I was trying to like
Meteoric Timon or Big Boobs mod. Yes, they also knock you on that one. Nerdy Neo said, oh yeah, games for Windows Live was awful. It was the freaking worst. Nerdy Neo said, Wolfenstein, how Sean Connery says Wolfenstein. I like Wolfenstein. Wolfenstein!
That was for the Xbox too, right?
Fear Fema said it took 3 hours for me to download Wolfenstein on my 2400 baud modem back in the day. Oh, I remember when I first was my uncle had I think the shareware copy of Doom 2. And I remember even back then people were already modding that game. And I remember we were trying to install some of them too. And think of it then, like this was before I had really gotten into PC gaming and everything. And we were like spending a good part of the night trying to figure out how to do it because it was either trying to install there's an Aliens mod and a Beavis and Butthead mod we were trying to install. Couldn't get them to work. We just couldn't figure it out. Brendan Tran said, thoughts on the new Rhino redesign from Kraven the Hunter compared to Paul Giamatti's Rhino mech suit from The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I've seen that image floating around, but I haven't really looked at it myself. Like, I haven't seen like the full-on whatever it's supposed to be. So I have no comments really. All I can say for Paul Giamatti's Rhino mech suit, that was kind of taking from Ultimate Spider-Man. That like in that comic book series, they had Rhino in a mech suit. I prefer like an actual dude in a full-on Rhino looking suit like he was originally in the comics and the animated series. But I haven't seen the Kraven the Hunter version. Static 2020 said Germany is doomed to repeat their mistakes. Oh wait. Brandon Trent said, have you seen Thunderbolt's trailer, which got leaked recently from D23? Marvel is making their own version of Suicide Squad with Thunderbolts. No. The only thing that we saw from D23, and we looked at it last week on Saturday Night Sith 119, was the Mandalorian trailer that leaked. Or Mandalorian and Grogu. Yeah. Can't say we're gonna be caring too much about that. And Static said weird shit going on in Germany under the radar. You tell. Static said they have a lot more of the weird books in schools than other places. They are extremely progressive over there. I'm looking at the German tank stuff now. So so yeah, some things are repeating. Wonder if they can do it differently this time. Dan Blackroyd, how's it going, sir? AKA Liquid Blake. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for dropping by. Saying Wolfenstein is so much better than Doom. Not a bad it's not bad. I remember a buddy of mine had it back when I first played over at his house. Fun. I mean, it definitely, you see where Doom came from. It's a good thing to get the chance to play, but I'll always love Doom. The soundtrack, killing demons, you can't go wrong. Static said, kind of contradictive news going on with the tanks and now supporting Ukraine because of Nord. Oh boy. Meteor Advocate Timon said, Duke Nukem is GOAT. I believe we had that discussion last week too. I also dude, this is the thing, like, I love the old first-person shooters from the 90s. Those are all freaking fantastic. One game that I need to play is Strife. Accursed Farms, Ross Scott, he reviewed it on his channel for his Game Dungeon series. It looks like a lot of fun. It's another basically like Doom clone, but they added a bunch, but instead of it just being a pure first-person shooter, it is a first-person shooter, but it has RPG mechanics cooked into it too. So I'm in a full-on like story with voice acting and everything. I'm going to have to check that out someday. And Static says this. He's all on board with the Duke Nukem. And Blackred said, shame about forever. Not sure what that's referring to. Meteor Advocate Timon says, original hardware for Doom, a Pentium 133? Yes. With the turbo button. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Nerdy Neo saying Dark Force is the best boomer shooter. How can I disagree with something like that? With this face, how can I disagree? Well, let's face it. Yeah, you know, Dark Forces 2 took it up another notch, especially when you get a lightsaber. This is a fun. Oh God, so many. You know, I'm gonna have to look that up really quick. All the different, like, I guess it'd be Doom clones. Oh right, there was also Hexen. Dark Forces was part of it. Rise of Triad is another Doom clone. But yeah, Hexen I originally played on the N64. I don't know if you ever played, probably not. Sounded like you couldn't play fun games.
I played Super Mario.
But yeah, Hexen was another one that was a lot of fun. Another Doom clone shooter, but with like medieval mechanics to it. You had a mage, you had another, just like a regular like kind of shooter, and then you had they had the, like, it was the N64 console version. That's the one I played. Let me get some actual images of Hexen. But Hexen was a lot of fun. I'm surprised they didn't mention Strife, because I'm pretty sure Strife was. What the hell? There's apparently been another Hexen. It's not the right one. There we go. But yeah, Hexen was pretty cool. I enjoyed it. You had all sort, like, the maps were pretty cool. The enemies were neat. Like I said, you got to even be like a freaking like kind of Hell Knight guy. The enemies were pretty cool. And it was another kind of unique system cooked into the Doom. These guys kind of reminded me of the enemy from some of the demons from Spawn. But another game that was a lot of fun. We all played it like multiplayer and shit. Oh my god, the shenanigans! The shenanigans was fun. Brandon Trent said, "Don't know if you care about Paris 2024 Summer Olympics, but did you saw Tom Cruise jumped out of a plane for the closing?" No. The last thing we looked at for the Paris Olympics was the whole bastardization of the Last Supper and stuff like that. Otherwise, that was the only thing that we've checked out from the Olympics. I have not cared. Dan Blackroad said, if you remember it, MDK was the best of the era of those games. Features and gameplay years before anything else. MDK, I did not play. I remember hearing about that one, but I never played it. This one I think is on my list. It just made the list. So yeah, I'll have to check that out at some point. It said Duke Nukem Forever. That game ruined the franchise. Dude, that was... The whole Duke Nukem Forever thing was such a travesty. Because it was in developmental hell, and then it got handed off to, of all freaking places, what was it? Gearbox. And like it was Yahtzee Crowshaw's review for the fake unreleased, basically the unreleased version was like just all anybody needed, and then they actually released it, and it was, in my opinion, it was complete shit. I know some people out there have defended it. I can't. I couldn't. It was trying to, and like it was trying to mock things of games of the era, but then just ended up doing the exact same thing, which didn't make a whole lot of sense. You try and take some pop shots at freaking Halo and everything, but then you do the exact same things as Halo. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
You did not like Duke Nukem.
I did not like Duke Nukem Forever. I like Duke Nukem 3D and Duke Nukem on the N64 and stuff, but I did not like Duke Nukem Forever. Oh, and Duke Nukem Time to Kill was pretty fun. That was the third-person shooter. They did some stiff. Nerdy Neo said, I love Jedi Knight, but I like Dark Forces better because the lightsaber stuff in JK was only okay. True. It wasn't until Outcast they really nailed it. Fair enough. That is a fact. What about Redneck? That game was... Oh, Redneck Rampage? Fuck yeah. I think I have that on GOG. I might have to play that one too someday. Captain Keeley saying, good day, chat. Hello. Hope you're doing well, Captain Keeley. Whew. I'm trying to think if we should do one more topic. Like it is, we've been very loaded down with game topics.
Any more with Doom, or is Doom over?
Doom is done. I think we've covered everything that we've needed to when it comes to Doom. Yeah, I think we've covered what we've needed to for Doom update. But there was something that kind of, again, this is just something that to me is why the full on digital games is not something we should, wholly embrace. It is where, I wish we could make a comeback to physical copies of games. Sadly, just not in the cards anymore. But yeah, so this I found thanks to Brutus had posted this, and he's started up his website DEI Detected, and so they're kind of keeping an eye on different things that are instituting and enabling or putting into their games DEI sort of stuff. But yeah, so a very old game, multiplayer, but this is the thing, like they'll do this to single player games as well. This is why I really caution on this. But for the old school RuneScape game, so going straight to the point, after 23 years since its original release, Jagex decided to release a DEI update. Let me get that a little bit bigger. For old school RuneScape, where they removed the male and female sexes from the character creator screen, replacing them with the infamous body type A and body type B. And not only that, they also added pronouns. They've added the fucking pronouns, people. Because of course they had to go with the full combo, right? Now they can be a they, them in a 23-year-old game. Like I said, not just multiplayer games. This is a thing that can come to single player games that are on digital stores. And also if you have like that connect and a game tries to update on a console or in general and you're logged in, updates could be implemented into your physically owned games if you are connected online. Part of that problem, not just digital games in general, but the always online connectivity. So yeah, they kind of show it off here. So there you see body type A, body type B. You got the he, him, they, them, or she, her. The full mental illness brigade is there. Jagex is also silencing anyone who complains about an agenda being pushed into their favorite old school MMORPG. As seen in the screenshots below, credits to Vera for posting them on X. So here we see 2024 arrived, type AB pronouns. Finally, RuneScape has embraced modern audience gaming. Yeesh. So High Caliber Hate, who was banned 20 hours ago, or was just banned. Not even retro games are safe from this crap. Also, LOL at Jagex for not polling this. This person, which has been banned, was the last app update polled. Is Jagex once again going to betray the community in their desperate attempt at making even more cash? Absolutely disgusting behavior. This person doesn't look like they've been banned yet, saying, I am so sick of this. It's not enough that the very vocal and very annoying 0.5% of the player base needs an entire month to validate their existence. Now Jagex is forcing us to accept this insanity as a permanent part of the in-game universe. Quote unquote, you're just a hateful bigot. This is such a worn out trope that it honestly doesn't mean anything anymore. Being called a bigot because I believe in reality and biology is laughable. What's the big deal? It's such a small change. Such an easy thing to say when you've already gotten what you want. As if there wouldn't be an extreme reaction if this quote unquote small change was suddenly reverted. Absolutely. It's just a fantasy game with magic and dragons, LOL. Why are you complaining about this? If that's the case, then why am I not mowing through my Slayer task in an M1A1 Abrams tank? Immersion and escapism is critical to the success of a game. When you continue to inject in real life politics and ideologies into this fantasy setting, you erode that immersion. But female dwarves are known to have... It just cuts off there. So that witch person that was banned saying, quoted from somebody else, it's Jagex property, so they are free to do. Ah, yes, the Lolbert thing of they're a private, basically a private company. They can do what they want. It's their property, so they're free to do whatever they want. They do not need to pull any update, but they should, because they're also having to deal with their paying customers. And I mean, hey, I do sometimes agree that generally the customer is always an asshole, but the customer is also generally right. At least that's the idea. And if they're unhappy with the product that you're serving, maybe it's time to kind of knock it off, especially if you got enough people, kind of knocking you on it. But you always have the good corpo cocksuckers coming along to make sure that they, sweep up for the company and make sure that you know that you have no voice here. Saying if you're unhappy, then simply stop playing. Nobody is forcing you to play this game. Jagex hasn't done anything wrong. Well, they've gone against their customer base because their customer base is clearly not wanting this. So, I think they have done something wrong. But the person which that has been banned saying, funny how you guys always support the corpos as long as they obey your opinion, Lamau. It's their property until it isn't. Huh. Yeah, because these are also the sort of people that are forcing these changes. They are always the ones that are very, very vocal. And then anytime any of us try and speak up, oh boy, do they shut. Hell, even a lot of the people of our own side will shut us down, saying, your guys are going a little too far now. It is just, they'll take the same positions as these fucking people sometimes. That's why I got really fed up real fast with the likes of even the whole the Gamergate 2, because some of the same little fucking cocksuckers out there were basically pulling the same little bullshit. They had 0 scrot, 0 spine, and I was fucking done because it was dapping that goddamn fast. At least the first time around, there was a bit of a fight. Fuck. Two Chins here, who's also banned, quoting that same retard from earlier. Quote, play fair, avoid having inappropriate names, and you won't have anything to worry about. I regularly report malicious players, so be aware. So the person from Valve came in. We're locking this thread as it has developed into non-productive argument. Thanks for your understanding. And as it says at the end here, vote with your wallets. And I mean, this is a 23-year-old game, but that's just it. They have to control everything. They have to be involved in everything. They cannot, will not allow you your own, so to speak, less safe space to be away from this, to go to your escapism, to enjoy your games, to just want to be away from any bit of this little bit of nonsense. No, they have to make sure it is in your face 24/7, and they will not relent. As I have brought up, what is going to be everyone's breaking point? When will enough be enough? When will some actual fighting happen? When will something actually come of some of this? Because even when I've seen it, like I've said, our own side will shut down and cancel anybody that also starts fighting back the same way, taking up their tactics. Hey, they set these fucking rules, so use it against them. But we won't, because we got to be better than them, because that wins wars. Anyway, it's hilarious, it's ridiculous, it's stupid, it's like it is. No game is safe. Back up your games, back up old versions of your games. If you have physical copies of discs from the PlayStation 2 era, from the Xbox 360 era, or whatever, use DVDs, if you can, copy them, make copies of them, have your backups in every which way humanly possible. Because yes, sometimes, unfortunately, cartridges, discs, and stuff like that will erode, will degrade, will unfortunately, lose out in the end at some point. Again, though, make backups in any way, digital, writable, whatever. Because also the great thing is too, Like PlayStation 2 especially, not only a backwards compatible system, but if you get it modded, you can play burnt discs. That's how how I played a lot of import games back in the day. But that is how at least you can back up old games and have multiple copies. So in case the original disc gets used up, or have that copy to play instead of using the original disc. So at least you aren't wearing out the original. Little things like that. Make sure you have those original copies in some form or another. It is why I did find I believe I found some old versions of the GOG version of Doom 1 and Doom 2. So I have those original WAD files backed up because I was proven correct. You can't trust Bethesda to not do some shenanigans. So one way or another, do that sort of thing. This is just, this probably hasn't even been the first, but certainly one of the things that was caught thanks to Cabrutus and his website, the whole DEI detected. Keep an eye out for anything else that they try and pull, because they're gonna do it one way or another. They're gonna do it. So, yeah, that's at least
if they haven't already.
Exactly. If they haven't already, they're certainly gonna try. Like I said, they don't want you to be away from their mind virus. They want you infected just as they are. So, yeah. There's one way to at least get me a little fired up.
It's all sad and boring.
It fucking is, isn't it? Oh my god. Maybe I'll have to find. I just had to finally download that episode, and I'll clip that out so we have it. Because freaking hell, I wish there was something else that I remembered to. Maybe next week I'll have it, because I know there was some other stuff for game. There's so much gaming news this week. It was ridiculous.
It was like there was nothing last week really, and then it's like
but like this week it was just like the hits just kept on coming.
Double one bites the dust.
Oh, jeez, right? I don't know if you had anything else you wanted to jump into, sir.
Oh, it's really just I wanted to know about the Doom stuff, and then the John Jackson Miller hold debacle, which got me fired up. But I can't. What are we watching tonight? It's not Bane, is it?
No. This episode tonight
Secrets.
is yes, good episode too. Let me just get through the chat really quick. Brandon Tredson, one of X-Men DeMaio got canceled by Disney News. I heard rumblings of that. Yeah, because of some sexual misconduct or something like that. Brandon Tran said, you can talk about Deadpool and Wolverine has beaten Joker for being highest grossing rated R movie. Suck it, DC fanboy.
Yeah, I mean,
Marvel takes the cake again. No, I'm just fucking with you.
Joker was also just terrible, so that's not really saying much.
Oh god, that movie was overhyped as shit. Oh my god, like it wasn't bad, but it just was not a Joker. Nah. On Point Salad says, and hello, how's it going? Saying Joker didn't hold that spot very long. Captain Keeley says, wow, such inclusion. On Point Salad said, diversity scape. Woo! Captain Keeley, I loved how blunt it is. DEI detected. I know. Hey, why beat around the bush, right? Just freaking go full bore. Go full bore. I can appreciate that. Static saying, it's too late now. They took your money and 23 years later bent you over. Fucking hell, man. Static's on fire tonight. Talking about Germans and all sorts of shenanigans. Jeez. Brandon Tran said, what's your honest opinion on God of War Ragnarok being called best story video game like Red Dead Redemption 2? I would say it doesn't hold a candle to Red Dead Redemption 2. I'd say even with some of the pause in Red Dead Redemption 2, it's a much better story and much more tolerable from what I can understand. But then I only watched Synthetic Man's review of God of War Ragnarok, and he is pointing out a lot of the bullshit in that game. So I already saw a lot of what was going on with God of War, the first remake or whatever, and I wasn't going near it because one, I'll never say I can't say I was ever I never played the God of War games. I'm not a fan, never was a fan or anything like that, and even this one was just again looking more to me like a Last of Us, but with melee combat that looked really clunky. It wasn't looking appealing to me, and I stood with people that it was ridiculous. While Christopher Judge is great as Teal'c and everything, and good for him. I don't think they should have replaced the voice actor, considering this is still supposed to be the same Kratos. They should have kept the same voice actor, but hey, kind of funny when another black man being replaced by another. But I like it was. I wasn't getting a PlayStation 5 anytime soon, nor will I ever. I'm staying away from that console in particular, but I'm also like it is. I'm staying away from pretty much all consoles, save for the Switch that I did pick up 2 or 3 years ago now, give or take. And even that I slightly regret. I think we've already gone over that. But yeah, I have no care for the God of War series, and especially from what I had seen, I don't care what some of the people seem to really wank that game, the Ragnarok game off. I was watching somebody play it, and then they were describing the original game. So I was like, I was in their chat. I'm like, then play the original games. That sounds way better. But they weren't budging. But yeah. Nerdy Neo saying one benefit of the 360 store closing means they won't quote unquote update any of those games with die bullcrap. Unless they pull a Dave Filoni, they loot through the dumpster, pick those games out and re-release them as a remaster, quote unquote, or just re-release them onto the current Xbox marketplace. Because we have seen that happen. And then, we've updated it for modern audiences. Yay! I'm sorry. Meteor Advocate Timon says, I have a Magic PS2 that runs everything. Nice. I have a Magic PS2 that runs everything from the PS2 back. On Point Salad says, Sweet Baby Inc. hates Cabrutus. They do. I've heard that. And last I knew, good old Sweet Baby Inc. has still been rather quiet with their website. Still, as we've always seen it with the previous things. Yeah, it looks still the same. I don't think they've updated it at all. All the same projects still showing. They haven't put up their most recent awards from like for Spooderman 2 and Alan Woke 2. So it's still showing some of the same old crap. They've been kind of quiet. Nerdy Neo says, I just started season 5. Oh, nice, of SG1. Sweet. Brandon Trent says, some gamers on Reddit who played God of War said it portrays masculinity well with main protagonist Kratos. Take that for what you will. It's Reddit. Meteor Advocate Simone says, Joker is not a DC movie. do you say to that, Hitman?
Probably not. It probably isn't at this point in time. Who did it? I think it was a standalone. I don't know who.
It is supposed to be kind of a standalone, yeah. Last I knew, it's not connected to really anything.
Yeah.
Brandon Trent said Chris Judge won an award at a Game Awards 2022 and said he was the one person that set the new standard that now kind of like the Oscars or Emmys or whatever that, but for Game Award shows that now they have a time limit for how long you can be up there to accept your quote unquote award. Dan Blackroyd said PlayStation 1 had better story games than they make now. Final Fantasy 7, Metal Gear Solid are still top tier. My boy. I would add Breath of Fire 3 in there, Breath of Fire 4. Dino Crisis 1. Oh, I'm blanking on some others, but I know there's some other freaking great games for PlayStation 1. But you definitely named two of my favorites. They re-released Chrono Trigger on the PlayStation. Part of the Final Fantasy Anthology pack that came with Final Fantasy 6 and 5, I think. Now I'm going back. Can I do have Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver, fantastic game. Soul Reaver 2 was a bit better in some aspects, but I think, to me, Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver 1 still has probably one of the best intros for video games. And just some fantastic voice acting. Legend of Dragoon. Legend of Dragoon, another freaking fantastic JRPG back in the day. That is one I should replay. Oh God. Suikoden 1 and 2, also phenomenal on the PlayStation 1. Tenchu 1 and 2. Mainly Tenchu 1 was probably better than 2. Vagrant Story, as I remember, was pretty solid. Chrono Cross is a personal favorite of mine. I still love it too. Yeah, Blood Omen. Blood Omen was fantastic. And I love it too because Simon Templeman voices Kane and then is, I think, voicing the bartender that kicks him out to get killed by the gang of bandits. Oh, God. You said it earlier. It's sad that we kind of feel the need that we have to go back to these older games to play something of quality.
Yeah.
It's so sad. And then Resident Evils 1, 2, and 3 on the PlayStation. I personally love Resident Evil 2 to this day. Like the original Resident Evil 2, to me, you don't have to play the remake, just play the original. Tank controls and all is phenomenal. That was kind of my introduction to Resident Evil, was the second game. Dan Blackroyd said Joker isn't connected to the DC movie universe. It isn't even connected to the comics. No, it is completely solely its own thing. Meteor Advocate Timon says Joker was a script that was around Hollywood for a while. They put a Gotham skin on top of it and sold it as Joker. Right. I remember hearing that. That was how they got it sold, was by slapping the Joker in there. Brendan Tran says, I just realized T.C. Carson, who played Kratos in the original games, also played Mace Windu in Revenge of the Sith video game. Oh, really? Oh, okay. Cool. Meteor Advocate Timon says, best PS1 intro is Wild Arms. I'll have to watch that again someday. Blackroyd said Tenchu Stealth Assassins was pretty cool. Yeah, Daniel Day Kim in an early role before he was playing the likes of Johnny Gat, played Riki Maru, our top assassin boy. And that's what with this whole nonsense of Assassin's Creed in Japan dropping, I'm like, that's what I was saying when we were reviewing all that shit. Screw that game and play Tenchu 3 Wrath of Heaven on the PlayStation 2. That's all you need. Brandon Trent said Kingdom Hearts is a good game series if you've played the first two games. It's not. I'll just say, it's not for me. I certainly tried to get into it. I played the first game. I still hold that they couldn't sell. I don't think they could have fully sold it with just Disney characters. They had to insert Final Fantasy characters and stuff like that for that extra sell. Oh, Nerdy Neo, Symphony of the Night. Yeah, Castlevania, Symphony of the Night. Another big one. Dan Blacker said, I liked Kane having the cameo in The Masquerade as the taxi driver. What? Did he? No, I usually catch his voice. Was Simon Templeman the cab driver in Masquerade? Now you got me checking. Wait, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines? That game was fire. I love let's see. I am not seeing our boy Simon Templeman. Let's see here. Yeah, not popping up unless you meant a different Masquerade. That's what comes to my mind is Masquerade Bloodlines on the PC. You get me start looking for this stuff. All right, let's see. All right, I found a movie called Masquerade from 1988, but no Simon Templeman there. And let's go to his IMDb. Oh no, he's done some voices for Diablo 4 and Diablo Immortal. No! Fallout 76. No. Wait, he's in Diablo 3? Huh. He was Hadrig Blacksmith. Huh. I remember him as Logain in Dragon Age Origins. Oh yeah, he's unfortunately in Uncharted. Ugh. Huh. Anyhow, moving on. Nerdy Neo says plenty of good recent games too. Is GTA 6 going to be worth the $150 price tag? No. Sorry, on point, Sal, but I just have no. Nerd Neo says just lots of crap coming from AAA. I don't trust indie games. I'll only wait for when it comes to any kind of indie game. I'll wait for maybe somebody to recommend something. And so far, Carl of RNG Podcast had recommended me the banger that's Dave the Diver. Otherwise, it's very, very hit or miss when it comes to the indie scene. Nerdy Neo also says no, GTA 6 isn't gonna be worth $10. Damn. Dan Blackroyd said, I think it was PS2. Legacy of Kain Defiance was the best in the series. I kind of lean towards Soul Reaver 2, but Defiance is great as well. It was just the unfortunate thing of that it was the last time that we were getting that story in general. But I at least have to give them kudos because I believe it was Amy Hennig that said that with the passing of Tony J, that it just wouldn't be the same moving forward. So with the series, like it wasn't like the best reception for it too, but they were pretty okay with ending the series there. And plus now we could not get a sequel because not only did we lose Tony J, the voice of the Elder God, but Renee Auberjonis, who played Janos Uldren, also has sadly passed away. So two big hitters there for characters that just, they have such I'd say pretty unique voices to portray those roles that you just couldn't find a replacement. But I find like the Legacy of Kain series as a whole just the best, some of the best storytelling for video games out there. We don't talk about Blood Omen 2. That's kind of the redheaded bastard stepchild. We don't talk about that one. We ignore that one. It stays shamed in the corner. But but the rest of them, from Blood Omen to Soul Reaver 2, and Defiance, just a phenomenal game series. Like that would probably be the Legacy of Kain is just up there for me for just the top tier. Dan Blackroyd says, I don't think he was voiced. I just remember Kain having a cameo in Masquerade Bloodlines. Oh, right. For the you go and slash up the paintings of Cain and Abel because they have links to vampirism in that game. Because I heard Hitman's microphone cut back on. Meteor Advocate Damone says Unicorn Overlord. Unicorn Overlord. I'm not familiar with that one. Is really good. PS5 though. Nerdy Neo says Helldivers was a great game. It was the people behind the scenes that were the problem. And now I've even heard that the game mechanics they've been screwing with. So they seem to be kind of a sinking ship. Dan Blackroyd is asking, oh no, Kain or Raziel? Who do you choose? Oh boy. I'm a Kain man all the way. I mean, he's such a cheeky shit, especially in Soul Reaver 2, where he's kind of that antagonist, but not the protagonist of the series at the moment either. Not until he comes back as that as like a character to play as and everything in the set in Defiance. He's playing such a great role throughout Soul Reaver 2 in particular, and Raziel's is always at his heels. And he's just kind of leading him along, but he's giving him information too. And I mean, just the conversations that they have, especially at the pillars, is still just one of my this is like a great scene in general. Oh God, I'm tempted just to get and play that scene. But I have to say, like, Kain is definitely my favorite, and it's just great. Like when in the original, just like he's not this virtuous hero. I mean, I guess he's kind of the early whole kind of, but the thing is, like, he isn't even morally gray. He's just a bastard in general. And the funny thing is like the canon ending is him taking the throne. He does not sacrifice himself to the pillars of for the balance of Nosgoth. He says, "Fuck that! I ain't doing it." And he takes the throne of Nosgoth and rules over the land, and then creating Raziel and his brothers as his vampire guard. And that's the canon ending. It's not, like I said, and they put the two different endings in Blood Omen 1, where there's the ending where it's the true ending that he takes the throne and rules over the like I said, Nosgoth and the pillars. But then there is the one where he sacrifices himself and restores the land. And he's like, "Fuck that! I ain't doing that shit. We vampires deserve to rule. Screw the humans. There are cattle now." But Raziel is just such an God. I mean, both characters are fantastic, but I am leaning more Kane. But Raziel's great. Especially Michael Bell, who voiced him, does a fantastic job as they all doing this kind of Shakespearean dialogue and accents. And they've got it all going on. He sounds fantastic, and Raziel is great just in that, like, he's the path and journey he's going on as he learns his past, because when being transformed into a vampire, he kind of forgot a lot of it. But he learns of even what kind of a douchebag he was. And I've said that it's like the Legacy of Kain series is like one of the best stories out there involving time travel and vampires. And they handle it all so well. And if for anybody that ever gets the chance, check it out. Play the games. They're fantastic. And if anything, they have the stories to watch on YouTube. Worth it. I have them on a hard drive that I'll occasionally throw on because I just love the story that much, and I just love having it play out. Like, again, just love it. Dan Blackroy said Defiance was great because it balanced both their stories. It did a good job of, like, bouncing back and forth. Again, Raziel learning what he had to try and do. And then just in general, Kane is just fucking unstoppable. Ripping his heart out or not, he was still in it. Just the way he kind of gets manipulated, it's like it is just a very well put together story. And like when it got to things like Uncharted and everything, I was very disappointed because those games are so popcorn blockbustery type of games that I just couldn't get into them. And I know Amy Hennig was at the helm of being in charge of those games and everything, but I just felt like it was such a downgrade in comparison to a series like Legacy of Kain. Dan Blacker said would have been a better anime series than Castlevania. Anything would have been a better anime series than that Castlevania series. Good Lord. Woo! Okay. Well, I've ranted about PlayStation games and in particular Legacy of Kain. Shall we get to our Stargates finally?
Secrets.
We've kind of taken some time to get to it. The good old Hammond's Bush. Let me get. So yeah, this is season 2, episode 9. Secrets. Good one. It's a good one. And for anybody that does not know, we will be switching over to our Rumble, Odyssey, or Kick channels that you can watch these on along with us. Here are the links. There's Rumble. Here's Odyssey. If you, and as I've understood it, the really up to date that keeps a really good consistent stream is the Kick channel. But again, choose whichever one you want to go to. There are the links. And for anybody that isn't sticking around, I do just want to say thank you for joining us. And I'll just go through the list of saying thank you to Dan Blackroad for being here. I don't know if you're going to jump over for the Stargate side. Nerdy Neo, Meteor Havoc Timon, On Point Salad, Brandon Tran, Captain Keeley. Let's see, Static 2020. I don't know if you're still here or not. Fear of FEMA. We had, of course, United Spacers Alliance. Tim in the chat earlier on. Star Wars Marvel Purist. Let's see. Forking Around jumped in for a hot minute. Thank you all so much for being here, for all of the tisms. It's always fun. So yes, we will be now. All right. We'll catch you later. Catch you later, Nerdy Neo. Static's already over there on the Kick side. Kick for the win. And thank you, On Point Salad. You stay classy too, sir. And so here we go. We will be now switching on over to our Stargate Watch. As they say, we'll see you on the other side. Oh, no problem. Dan Blackroad, he says, I must miss Hammond's push this week, but it will always be in my heart. And you could always catch the replay on Rumble or Odyssey or whatever. So don't worry about that, sir. All right, guys, here we go. Let's do this. So pumped. Let's go.